Hello there. Whew. I hope everybody's doing wonderfully. Sorry, Fighting Max, I stepped away for a minute to take care of some stuff, and I didn't see that when you had come in, so I see that you're in now, of course, but I apologize I didn't get to say hi right off of the bat. Hello there. And let me see if I can catch up. Diabetes issues. I do hope that you're doing, I hope you're doing really well, Ash. I know a couple of issues here and there, pop up, but I hope everything on the whole is going very well for you. Fun fact, Ash actually messaged me, he messaged me and said, I bet you're not streaming until after Christmas. The minute right before I had gotten that message, I clicked the stream button. This is my last stream before Christmas, but Christmas is on a Wednesday. I did take off and am taking off 2 weeks from work. I will not be working this coming week. I will be traveling, and then the following week, of course, I will be doing some other stuff. It has been tradition in years past to have an extra long New Year's Eve to New Year's stream, based on Central Time. Obviously, some people get there before I do. You know, Ash, you'll be there 6 hours before I do. Viddy will be there 14 or 16 hours before I am. You know, but at the same time, you know, just based on Central Time, we usually do an Eve to New Year's hour stream. Appreciate it. I typed. Yep. Does the title translate to destroy the bullish and help the bearish? Basically, it's destroy the strong and help the weak. It's the Yakuza's motto. So, fun fact. I mean, for people who don't know, I'm not Japanese. I'm in no way Asian. I have no Asian descent or anything like that, so anything that I say here that might be 24-hour cooking Christmas stream, maybe not. So I made a prediction. I'm going to put this in perspective. Everything that I am regurgitating, and that's really what I will use for it, is read or researched, or something. It's not something that I have experienced. I have no Asian blood or lineage, but yeah, destroy the strong, help the weak is the Yakuza. Reason being is because originally I made a prediction, having not seen the downloadable content, but saying it was Nyakuza, knowing that in Japan, nya or nyan is their onomatopoeia for a cat's meow, what we would say meow, and then knowing the Yakuza and loving the Yakuza games and all of those types of things had led me down a kind of rabbit hole. I've always loved like criminal mafioso organizations. I very much love the Russian mafia history and the history of La Cosa Nostra. I'm also not Italian, by the way, but you know, and the history and like they have Michael Francis, who's on YouTube, who is a part of that, and like he's completely. Him and Sammy the Bull Gravano are given their accounts. It's super, super cool. Yakuza is that too. So I kind of made the prediction that was the case. And then I thought, you know what? Let's use the Yakuza's motto. Tsuyoki wo kujiki, yowaki wo tasukeru. Crush the strong, help the weak. Kill the weak and take all they have left. No, it's so that's the thing that's ironic is so I don't know if it's a true belief or if it's just the way that it is, but like when they're called, when they're called Yakuza, when they're called Boryukudan, or these like they're vigilant. I think they see themselves as vigilantes. They call themselves, I think it's ninkyō dantai, and so like they actually call themselves that. Ninkyō dantai means chivalrous group, I think, or chivalrous business, chivalrous, what is it? But anyway, it's something to do with chivalry. And so like it's kind of the interesting thing you hear about all the Yakuza and the police are calling them this violent, this, that, or the other. and then they are calling themselves, no, we're the chivalrous ones. And it kind of goes back to that phrase, which is done multiple times. My favorite iteration of it would be 310 to Yuma's, every man is right in his own eyes. It's very interesting. So that's why I used that particular one. So it's, hopefully I'm not butchering it, but at the same time, it is all in fun any which way. Help the weak lighten the load of their pockets. That's the thing, is that they're saying crush the strong. So it's like, hey, take on the challenge, help the weak. I don't know if the Yakuza have actually really done all of that in the long. I just saw that. Yoki no mari I mean, with the holiday season, with the Christmas season or Yule season, you know, I mean, definitely cash can be a little tight. Speaking of which, we got to talk about that for a second. So my wife and I actually exchanged Christmas gifts early because we have so many Christmases to have. We're going to travel tomorrow to my in-laws, to her parents, and go visit with them. We're going to have Christmas with them, I think, on that Wednesday. And then we're traveling back. We're going to stay with them up there for about a week, and then we're going to travel back, and we're going to have Christmas with my side of the family a little late. And we traded gifts early. So I got her a... what did you guys buy me? It hasn't arrived. Hope it's not late. Hope it's expensive. You know, I've got several things, Ash, and I have said this with open transparency. I have had several things that I'm like, man, this would be cool to be able to get Ash, and then you've been like, nah, man, I can't do that. It's too much. But yeah, seriously, I mean, I've really wanted to, you know, like you've been wanting to do that kind of stuff. Those kinds of... No, it was like, what did we talk about? We talked about like helping you with a capture card, maybe, or doing some stuff with like games, laptop stuff. Like we talked about a whole kind of cool stuff to help with the streaming setup, microphones. Like we talked about all kinds of cool stuff. And it doesn't have to be something like that, obviously, but like, yeah, that's not out of the question, believe it or not. I've actually had the fortune of sending gifts to some other people on the channel, and I'd love to do one for Vidya. I don't know what I would do. We talked about it before, but we did. I did send one to Omega a little while back, which was a custom NES. It was a ROM hack, but I actually had it in an NES cartridge that plays on an NES. I sent to him a special Castlevania edition. Thumb Bros, I think, had just wanted some NES controllers, really. So I was able to find an NES controller to send to him. I'll probably send him a few more. I think I found a Dogbone one for him, which I don't know if he'll enjoy, but, you know, might be fun for him to have for the collection. So he just hit a really good time on Contra, too. It was like the world record's like 9:49. He just hit like a 10:38 or something like that. I mean, really, really good. Side note, too, I always say that down in the description, channels for people that I think do some really cool stuff. Thumb's got some speed runs coming up. I think he might actually have one coming up. I know he's got two coming up in January. He may have one coming up a little bit later today as well, and I'd highly recommend checking those out. They're on Twitch, so his Twitch channel is down below. We could do the old throw it from the roof and hope it isn't glassed. You could do that, yeah. Retro thinks my gear is terrible. He always tries to sell me stuff that's over. I haven't tried to sell you anything. I've offered to send you stuff free of charge. I'll take care of it. So I have microphones, man. That's the thing. Like, I love microphones, and I have way too many. I have way more than I'm ever going to use. I need, you know, tops. I need 9 microphones. That's all I need. And I have like 20. There's no way. 8 microphones, for anybody who doesn't know, sometimes I've had a bunch of friends come over and we all have to mic up, and so, you know, we've done that once or twice, I think. But it works so well that just isn't limited to glass. No, it isn't. Don't go to my channel. It's worthless. Thank you, though. I'll return one day if I'm still alive. No, you'll... It's not... Firstly, it's not worthless because if you happen to change the channel, then the link will just change, so no big deal there. Secondly, I would certainly hope you're still alive. And thirdly, there's no pressure to return. Just whenever you're ready. Like I said, when your stuff does come out, it's good stuff. So I'm happy to be a billboard for the stuff that has been and that I know can be again, maybe, and that's cool. Your mic is terrible. It could also be your accent, but here's one. Here's one for I'll offer you for £2,000. Bit much. Okay, I'll help a friend. I'll take 2,600. You went up by £600 for it. I like my microphone. I like my microphone a lot. There was a huge. I'm fighting Max. You and I kind of talked about this a little bit when we were talking last week on this stream. We were talking about upgrades that we make to the channel, and there was a huge stint for probably at least a year, maybe two, where I was just obsessed with finding the best microphone for my voice. And again, I went from, USB Blue Snowball mics to Blue Yetis to Sterling Audio's ST55s to AKG P220s to AKG C214s, and then now I'm on, and I've gone to Electro Voice, and now I'm on. I don't think the dynamic mic thing is for me. I think it's got to be the condenser. So now I'm on the TLM 103, and I think that's probably. There's only one other mic that if I come across it and I end up with it that I will probably use instead of the TLM 103, and that's my favorite, the AKG 414 XL2. But beyond that, I'm probably fine. Why didn't the present break when it was dropped from a ladder? Because it was a step. Yeah? Speaking of the days leading up to Christmas has given me endless excuses to make as many almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas jokes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. We did, speaking of it was, almost Christmas, right? And I'm happy for it not to be Christmas, but it's super difficult especially when you get older. And especially when you get married, and especially when you have, because you have all these different families that you're going and you're doing Christmas with constantly. And I made a comment. I still have to buy for my niece and nephew a few things. I've got stuff for our daughter, for the in-laws, and for everybody. But and so my wife and I traded gifts early. She has insisted. Her birthday is in November. And so I agreed to a Christmas gift that she wanted, or a birthday gift she wanted, and I kept making recommendations about gifts that I could get her, and she's like, no, she just never, I finally bought her a brand new GPU so she can play all of the games that she does on her channel, which is also, by the way, in my description, if you decide to check her out. I finally got her a brand new GPU. I did not get her a 4070 because the 4070 only had 8 gigs. I got her I have gotten her a 3080-12, I think is what I got her, because it was better than the 4070, so very happy about that. And then she had a 1080, and so I put the 1080 in my PC, so now I've got a 1080 and a 1060 that are running separate functions for me, so I should be able to play. I mean, there's nothing that mine can't handle. It's retro, right? So I'm not going to have that big of an issue. So I shouldn't have any more hiccups if I decide to play retro PC games again, which I may do because I had a lot of fun with the I Have No Mouth. I've fallen into the Ace Attorney fandom abyss, and there's no pulling me out of it. Hey, so long as you're enjoying it. I don't even know what that is, if I'm going to be honest with you. I found a Shovel Knight amiibo I thought I'd... Oh, nice! We talked about that, too. You had said something about... because I think I'd sent a picture of mine at one point, way back when, and you had said something about having one or having... Maybe I'm wrong. Ninkyō dantai means chivalrous business or chivalrous organization, something like that. The Yakuza... Ninkyō dantai is what the Yakuza call themselves. So, that's the idea. Like the Yakuza, whether you believe the Yakuza are good or bad, obviously the Japanese police do not believe them to be a good thing, but whether you do or don't is up to you. But they apparently see themselves in they are the chivalrous ones. Or at least they aspire to be the chivalrous ones. I'm not entirely sure what the entire philosophy of that. So the question I have is, whether most people when they think of Yakuza think of bullies and bad people, even if that may or may not be true. In my case, it is, can we actually be the chivalrous organization that it's proposed to be? So. You remember conversation so much better than me. I've probably repeated so much to you over the years. Nah, it's not a problem. I do have a very expansive memory, and that's a very good thing and a very bad thing. There are bad moments from it. It's been good though. It's been fun. But we talked about that. I sent a picture to you of my little guy, and you had made a joke about making me an offer for it. And then you had made a comment about, I think you had saying you had lost the amiibo. And then I had said, well, let me see if I can find you another one, because I go to these game shops all the time. And then you were like, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's move this over real quick so it doesn't look like we're just starting the whole time. I have to remember what button I put it. I think I put it on this button. There we go. Get our nice little cozy fireplace. Retro will be like, I remember when you told me about your experience with mixed martial arts on November 12th, 2021. No, but we have talked about, we did talk about, we had a conversation about mixed martial arts as a form of meditation. Not 2021, but I believe it was earlier this year, yeah. We talked about you have made reference to that a few times, yes. And we did talk about that. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know what we were talking about in November of 2021. I'd have to really go back and take a look at that and see, because November 2021 was a whole different beast too. I mean, like, you had content that was coming out. He probably remembers the incident from May 27th, 2009 that I desperately wanted him to forget. I don't remember, I don't necessarily know that I remember an issue with you in May 27th, 2009, but I do remember May 27th, 2009 very well, yes. Remember when we talked about how much money you secretly rip off from your viewers who aren't mods on here? Exactly. I rip off 100%. But unfortunately, 100% of zero still is zero, so I've made nothing except for a great effort. Yeah. So that's the. Did you hear the amazing news? What amazing news? There's that could refer to any number of things. Mercs is on the Switch Online? No, I did not hear about that. That is cool. Hold on. That is really cool. Do I have where's my phone? Where is it? Okay, there we go. Okay, Mercs, Switch Online. Son of a gun. They added Mercs. They added Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron, which is also fantastic. And they also added Vector Man, which is a lot of fun. That's really cool. I hate the fact that you have to have the freaking Expansion Pass Plus for that, especially when they literally made a Sega Genesis Mini, and they made a Nintendo actually released a Sega Genesis collection on the Switch itself. And then they're like, oh, we're going to keep releasing this. Well, you got to I'm like, God dang it, Nintendo. It's like $70 for that. So I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm probably going to stick to my original cart copy. Now, I said this before. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I did get a Retron Genesis HD, I think is what it's called, or Retron Mega Drive HD, whichever you prefer. It's HDMI output, basically Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, that runs all of the original cartridges, but upscales them in HD. It has a hardware switch for region locking, so if you want to play PAL, if you want to play NTSC, it's got a switch for that. If you want to play it in 16:9 aspect ratio, or if you want to keep it in its native 4:3 aspect ratio, and then it upscales all of it. I gotta say, this thing cost me, I think, $20 maybe, and it is worth absolutely every penny. So if I do play Mercs on the channel, I may play it that way. That's, you know, I kind of want to play, and now that I have it too, I really want to, and it came with a really good, by the way, really good 6-button Mega Drive controller. I don't have a lot of 6-button controllers. Most of mine were the 3-button ones that came out, because the Sega Genesis that I have is literally from like 1989, 1990. But the 6-button one, it came with a really solid 6-button controller that feels really good and very responsive. So I've been thinking about playing more Genesis games because I have a ton of them. I have a ton in box of these guys, and I love the Genesis. I have, what was the I have to think. What was it, RoboCop versus Terminator, and stuff, like some of the really cool concepts that were happening there in the 80s and 90s. What's the monthly subscription I've been paying? It says the Retro Room's personal bank account. So, yep, $70 a week. Mine says Retro Slave Fund. Weird. Yeah, it's a really... They should. Or Sega should come out with another... another, like a second volume to the Mega Drive collection, and say, okay, here's another 40 games. Yeah, it's going to be $50 if you want to buy it, but you have the games. It's like, yeah. Alright, I probably can't stay for the rest of this. We'll pop back in when I can. No worries, Fighting Max. Hopefully you're having a fun day, interesting day, and yeah. Thanks for coming in and talking with us for a little while. I appreciate that. I wish they would do that, but like with the, I have to say, like with the, this Retron Mega Drive, Retron HD thing, I really like it, and I really want to play more Genesis games, and I have a ton of Genesis games, and we'll keep adding to that collection, by the way. Obviously we've got the classics, we've got all the Sonic the Hedgehogs, and we have, the Echo the Dolphins, and a couple of those, and then we have a couple of like random, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner Panic games, and what was the other one? There was a Poltergeist, I think, which I have in box, and so like a lot of good games that just came out. There was no crossover. It was just a Sega Genesis. The Toe Jam and Earl was a good example of that. Like, the Toe Jam and Earl games are so freaking fantastic. And I had been playing the Sega Genesis. I played a couple of Sega Genesis games on the channel, and I'd been playing them on the Sega CDX, and it's okay, but it's, it's kind of fuzzy, and the aspect ratio jumps around because originally there were people, I think, probably already know all this story, but like, have you ever seen the there we go. Wanted to turn that down just a little bit. Have you ever seen the cartridges for the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive, and some of them are kind of short and rectangular, and then some of them are tall and more like a square? And I think I've told this story before. The reason that is because it was EA, Electronic Arts, back in the day. Big surprise there, right? They wanted to develop games for the Sega Genesis, and Sega was like, well, you can only do this, you can't do this, you can't, and they kind of had these rules and regulations based on what they wanted their games to look like and be. And EA says, you know what, we're just going to make our own, and they made these taller cartridges, and basically the taller cartridges had this thing that bypassed the Sega Genesis lockout chip. that was going to prevent, bootleg cartridges from playing on it. So whenever you're playing those extra tall Electronic Art Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive cartridges, what you're doing is you're playing a cartridge that basically was made as originally a form of like piracy that just became legal eventually. I'm wondering. Yeah, okay. Which I thought that was an interesting thing. The next question I guess I would have for people out there are, what kind of games are you guys playing recently? Because when I have had time, and it has been difficult to make time, this past week has been very, very hectic with trying to tie everything up for work so that when I come back, I'm, not sweating and panicked to get running. What games are you guys playing? For me, it is still Indiana Jones. That Indiana Jones game. It is that to me, that Indiana Jones game was really, really, or is really, really impressive. Really, really good. And I don't know, I have had a ton of fun with it. I saw somewhere somebody had said, I guess, that it won Best Xbox Game, I think, or Best Xbox Exclusive. I think it's a timed exclusive, but it's basically Best Xbox Game of 2024. I do think that personally, I mean, maybe people will disagree, I do think that's 110% fair. There are a lot of games I've enjoyed on the Xbox. This game doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a lot of other games did before. It feels really, really good, but it doesn't feel like that the focus is for, how do I want to say this? It doesn't feel like that the focus is, it doesn't feel like the focus was on being something, how do I want to say this? I don't know. It feels like that the game was trying just to be fun. It feels like the game was trying to be immersive. The game really lets you kind of play it the way you want to. Anna started playing, I started playing. She kind of bulldozed through a lot of it, and then I kind of went off to the side and explored a little bit. And it was, both of us feel, like Indiana Jones. She's never seen Indiana Jones. I am a huge fan, have been a huge fan. Harrison Ford's my favorite actor. I've said all this. And then the way that I play also is now I'm looking for this other thing. You can stealth your way through it. You can shoot your way through it. I grabbed a stick, bulldozed my way up, and then beat a guy in the face with, one of the Italian fascists that are in the game. I beat him with the cane and then jumped into, you can play the game so many different ways. It feels like they were trying to tell a story. I mean, honestly feels like that this is an extension of the movies. This is what was happening between Raiders and Temple. That it feels like that's what they were trying to do, is tell that story. And they use Harrison Ford's likeness, Troy Baker's voice act. I mean, man, it's so good. The other thing that I've been wanting to try to get into, but it's just so expensive, it does not make sense for me to spend right now. I want to play Star Wars Outlaws really badly. But if you want to buy Star Wars Outlaws, it's like $130 for the version that comes with everything. You can also subscribe to a $17 a month thing with Ubisoft, and you can play, and you get it all for free, or for the cost of the membership. Let's not say free, that's not fair. I think people are opting to sign up for the membership to play the game, but at the same time, I don't like that idea. I have Game Pass because of the rent. It's kind of like a rental service. I can rent all of these games first before it, and then my my wife can play online with me, my daughter can play online with me. You know, it kind of, the value proposition of that one, and I don't want to sound businessy, but the value proposition of Game Pass kind of makes sense, because then it says, you know, if I, like, for example, I like the Indiana Jones game, I've now tried it out. I had the option to try it in like 900 other games out. This is one of those that I'm trying out. I like it. I'm going to go buy a physical copy of this. If I can find, now again, I haven't seen one in stores right yet, but whenever I do, I'm going to pick this one up because I already know I like it. The Ubisoft one is almost as expensive as the Xbox one, but you get only Ubisoft titles, and the titles themselves are overpriced already to try and dissuade you from buying the title outright, you know. You can spend $17 or you can buy the game. It's only $130. So I've wanted to play it and see if it's any good, but I don't want to spend $130 on it. And it's on sale right now. I think it's $80-something for the digital version. I don't want that. I'd rather buy a physical copy if that's the case. So we're just going to figure that out. It might be something I end up doing on the channel. I might put it up and see if people want to see the first impressions, my actual first impressions of Star Wars Outlaws. I had heard some people say that they do like it a lot, and some people say it's not very good. It's Star Wars, so I'm interested in it anyway. So whether other people are or aren't, I'm still interested in it. So I want to see what people say. I mean, I don't want to see what people say. I want to see what I think. Just despite that, I mean, I think Survivor. I've been very vocal about it. I think Survivor is fantastic. I think I've been pretty open about that. So I'm big into Star Wars, but is this one? You know, this was probably the most. Is this the most controversial Star Wars game? I think this might be the most controversial Star Wars game. I'm trying to think of one that has a greater controversy, but I cannot think of it. But we've had a lot of, when it comes to Star Wars, we've had a lot of controversy when it comes to a lot of the source material for, not a lot of the source material, a lot of the movies, a lot of the, I don't think the music's really been critiqued all that much, because the music's still pretty good, especially, I mean, even post-Disney, if we take a look at the, like, Michael Giacchino stuff, it's been good. But yeah. Mate, I've got to head off for a bit, but I'll try and stop by later. Stop by later. Speak soon, if not, no worries. Yeah, have a good day, man. It was good getting to talk with you for a bit. But anyway, it was, I think there was a lot of controversy when it came to Star Wars, and literally every other thing. I think with it, the movies, obviously Solo had a big issue. Episode 7, 8, and 9 have had a big issue. So I think there's that. There's the episodic stuff. Mandalorian season 3. Ahsoka kind of did. I think Ahsoka's pretty good. I think Ahsoka could be. There are things in Ahsoka that I don't like, but I think it could be. I like it. I like it enough that I watched it and enjoy it. What was the other one? The Acolyte. That was the one that was really rough. And now they've got a new one coming out called Skeleton Crew with Jude Law. I love Jude Law, so we'll see how that goes. But I think the games had kind of been pretty solid. I think the games have kind of been pretty solid. I think a lot of people liked the games for the most part. You know, you had Jedi Fallen Order, you had Jedi Survivor, which were kind of the most recent ones, and then this one comes out, and it's like, so I think this is probably the most controversial. The Xbox version, apparently the people that are on the reviews there are like, it's a 3.4. 3.4 is pretty good. That's above average, right? 2.5 out of 5 is average across the board. A lot of people are like, it's not worth $130. I agree. Very few games are worth $130 if they come with nothing physical. But, you know, it's one of those, is it worth it to you? Can it be worth it is it worth it to you? Can it be worth it to do this, that, and the other? Sure, we'll see. So, but that was one of my thoughts. Maybe I will get the game, and maybe when I get the game, I will put a review together for Sorry about that. It was a little parched. Maybe I get the game, and then maybe I'll do a full-on review, but maybe I'll do a first impression, so I'll just pop up on here. Pop up on here, try it out, see what I think, let you guys see what I think. I won't regret it, just because I collect Star Wars stuff anyway. I don't think I'll regret buying a Star Wars title. So that's one of the thoughts I had, and that'll probably happen after the fact. And I probably want a physical copy and this and that and the other. You know, there's a lot to it, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's one of the thoughts that I had, and it could be, again, that could be what I end up doing for the next game after this. I thought about putting a couple of games up that I want to play for. That I've kind of been in the mood to play, for vote. I thought about doing that, and then I thought about doing a first impression of Star Wars Outlaws. So I may do that as an option on the vote. Star Wars Outlaws first impression, and see what people say. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna make a quick adjustment. I was charging my controller at the same time we were talking here, so my Switch just shut itself off. So if you'll permit me a little bit of background noise for just a moment, I'm going to get that all set up so I can jump back into the Yakuza Metro. One of the things I've found out about controllers with integrated batteries is you have to make sure the voltage is, you kind of do this with anyone, but you have to make sure the voltage is perfect, or you will burn out Nintendo batteries, PlayStation 5 batteries. You will burn them out by accident. But so I have these. I'm using a Switch Pro controller. Not my preference, honestly, and I'll explain. I have this controller called the Zen Pro, and I have to say that's probably the most comfortable controller I have ever used for the Nintendo Switch. Feels very much like an Xbox controller. I like the PS5 controller a lot, but I do think that the Xbox controller is, specifically, I think more the 360 than the... Specifically, I think more the 360 than the Xbox One controller. But I think those are the most comfortable. But the PS5 controller, very, very nice. All right, let's see. Let's fade this down. And I created a special scene here. There we go. So I created a special scene on the... Oh, hold on. I think I'm going to get bleed back by mistake here. I created a special scene on the... I created a special scene on the on this version here. I gotta hide some stuff. But I created a special scene on here so that there's some blur behind it, so it fills the whole screen instead of having that black border background, which I think is can be kind of uncomfortable. I think that can be kind of uncomfortable. I'm making adjustments, I apologize. There we go. So what we do have in the background there, that border, is just the blurred screen from, it's just the blurred screen from the intro, but it gives us a neat little border that looks okay, I think. Okay, so back in. We have 33, and we needed 35. Oh! Okay. Let's do some more free roam. It's really cool that we've done it this way. There was a blue and pink station, which I imagine... I need 35 to get into the next thing anyway, so we're going to see what happens. The art on this particular part right here, too, very, very nice. Very cyberpunky, which I think is kind of becoming the aesthetic of the 2020s, is this, like, cyberpunk, which, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 kicked off the 2020s. That's also a game I've contemplated playing on the channel, but I'm very careful about playing CDPR games on the channel because they do have a lot of more mature content. So I try to kind of be careful about that. I don't think they do it to be. Like it's something I think you can play on the channel, but if you have to play it, you kind of have to play it with post-editing so that you can, like The Witcher, the very first, Witcher 3, for example, the very first scene, you actually have some, like, nudity right there and then. With Yennefer, YouTube doesn't like that, so you kind of have to edit it as you go. It's very difficult to do that in a stream, and it also interrupts this very... What does that say? Does that say Meowbook Pro? That's cute. If you're making a video, you kind of have to you can edit it out, but if you're doing it like this, whoops. It's a lot harder to kind of censor on the fly. Wait, what? Oh, I see what you're doing. Got him. I didn't know those were bad cats. Viddy says, Sonic, okay, we're looking for some low-key gaming content on YouTube. How do we find it, Tails? I can't do a Tails voice. I can't do a Sonic voice. Start with a Retro Room live stream. I love it. Let's start with a Retro Nice. Welcome in, Viddy. How are you doing? I hope you're doing really well. Let me get myself a heart here. I was talking about Star Wars Outlaws. I was thinking about maybe doing a reaction stream on it when I finish this all up. I thought about putting a vote out for some retro stuff, and then I thought, well, what if people want to see like Star Wars Outlaws reaction stuff? Since I'm a Star Wars fan, and that one has been a controversial title. Okay, I'm gonna die. I didn't. I'm actually doing kind of okay, though I still feel a bit odd. Hopefully my doctor tomorrow will figure out why. I'm glad that you're feeling pretty okay. I have not seen... I've not watched a bunch of the game content, but being a huge Star Wars guy, I was wondering if people might be interested on my take. I have not yet played it, so I thought maybe doing a blind playthrough for the channel would be fun, and people might want to talk about it, but I don't know. But you said you were feeling kind of okay. See, there he goes. Is it this way? It is. I need the sprint hat. As in, I feel physically and mentally okay this morning when usually I have not. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that oops. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better at the very least. Physically, I understand that that's something you may not. Shoot, that's really tough. But I now have the sprint hat on. I just have to remember. Okay. What is the? So I'm just curious. Do you figuring if the physical out? Is there any indication as to what it might be that's caused some of this issue for you? Oh, they're rats. I see. Okay. No indications yet? Okay, alright. Well then, I'm glad then, if nothing else, that at least you're feeling better today, that you woke up feeling better. We'll be recording voiceover of Sonic 3 film review soon this morning. Oh, very nice. I haven't seen it yet. All I have seen, which I think is kind of hilarious, is Jim Carrey also playing... Okay. Jim Carrey also playing his own grandfather, which I think is... And he takes this, like, it was just the trailer, right? But then they have... he's kind of a... He takes, like, this Grinch-like pose, like a pose like he would in The Grinch. Yeah, when he's holding on to the lab coat. I think that's brilliant. I love Jim Carrey though too. So, you know, maybe I'm biased. I got to mostly see a preview for it before it comes out on the 26th for Australia. Okay. So Thursday then. For us it'd be Wednesday. Get those hearts. That preview looked so fun. Jim Carrey, I mean, I think the thing that I like, have you seen I guess as a curiosity, have you seen Renfield with Nicolas Cage? I'm trying to think of the name of a very famous actor. No? Okay. It's got... Ben Schwartz is in it as well. What I've started to find out is that Ben Schwartz is hilarious. Get out of there! Ben Schwartz is really funny, in my opinion. Ooh. And usually if he's involved, he's the voice of Sonic, obviously, so usually if he's involved, it's going to be pretty funny. You mix that with Jim Carrey, it just seems like that's going to be good. Come on. You gotta be careful of these little kitty vacuums. There we go. So it's like Ben versus Jim before the Sonic films? Yeah, kind of, yeah. Ben Schwartz, one of the things, Ben Schwartz is also on the, I think the most frequent guest on the Game Grumps. And I think he actually just did a Game Grumps video. I think he did Back to the Future with him. But anyway, that's not neither here nor there. The ones that I have watched of him, I mean, he's just... Think what you will of the Game Grumps, whether you like him or don't. He is just hilarious, in my opinion. He's just got a quick wit about him, and he's just got a good sense of humor, and... I've really enjoyed... He did a Castlevania one. He did they played, I think, Aladdin on one. It's just a lot of fun. The beta test for Catley is not looking good here. For Catley. What is Catley? I'm not sure. I have to look at that. Whoops. Oh, I was joking about Catley received the Game Award. Really? See, I don't know. I didn't see what all got Game Awards. I did get a notification that... Oh. I need to take a look into this, though. This looks adorable. I just saw the Catley. I didn't even know that was a thing. It just looks really cute. I'm not looking at any video. I'm just looking at images, so maybe I'm wrong on that, but anyway. It looks really weird. Oh, okay. I'll have to take a look at the video. The images look adorable, I think. But, you know, cat games were a big thing this year too. What was it? Little Kitty, Big City, and what was the other one? Stray. Stray was from last year, but even still, like, cat games have been a really big deal. Revealed at the Game Awards, though. Did the image feature cat eyes and fashion? Yeah, it did. Stray and Little Kitty, yeah, they are. It did. It had like, but it was just, like, they were just images. But it's like, it's cutesy, right? Like if you're like me and you have a daughter, those little things have that kind of appeal. Like it doesn't appeal maybe to me, but I can see where, you know, it might appeal to, you know, my wife or my daughter. So I'm kind of looking at it through that lens. Okay, so I'm guessing this is what we're doing. Okay. Though I guess the main criticism revealed is, what is the gameplay supposed to be? It's just like an endless void with cats and stuff? What are you supposed to be? Yeah, you can't... I mean, I'll give it that. I can't say, again, I haven't seen enough of it, but I will say, with video games, you don't want to just be ridiculously avant-garde. You definitely want some cohesion.
I hear you.
Alright. There had better be a timepiece at the end of this, because this is a lot of... Okay, that looks like a timepiece, so maybe. This is a lot of kind of more difficult platforming. Well, shoot.
Have you seen the latest episode of Cooking?
Oh, they're on like floating What in the world? Here, I'm gonna take that heart. Undead Necro Knight says, this game had a DLC? Hi, how are you? I'm doing well, Necro. Or, let's say, Knight. Yes, it had 2 DLCs. This is one of them, and then we've got another one I think that's coming soon. Yeah, this is some this is kind of, the platforming on this is... I shouldn't probably risk it, should I? This is the Yakuza...
Wanna wear the latest fashion?
Let's see, Bleeding Edge. Bleeding Edge is only 25. And I get a retro bag. Yeah, I want both of those. I'm sorry. I'm taking them. I am... There we are. Oh yeah, I like that. And I'm going to take this one, because why not? I may not like it, but we'll see. If Catley ends up being a 9 and 10 game, the only thing that would elevate it to 10 and 10 in my criteria, which obvious, is would you like some toast? Nice. Hi, Undead. Hi, Knight. Yeah, that can be really close. Retro badge, merch from the rich. Oh, you know, that would be cool. Oh, this is... Okay. Okay, I am probably going to turn this... I like this a lot. I am probably going to turn it off for the train platforming, because it is kind of hard to see. In favor of... Probably the no bonk badge, actually.
Want a Metro ticket?
And yes, I can afford a Metro Blue ticket. Could be better, but I'm alright. Same. I've got good news. Well, what is the good news then, Knight? The only ticket we are missing is the pink ticket. Good news, everyone. Oh, yeah. I have invented scented television. Oh, son of a gun. The smell-o-vision, which he actually did make, but it was the smell-o-scope instead. But yes. Son of a gun. Okay, I guess I could use the... Okay, no bonk badge helped on that. I might need this hat. Okay. Okay, I guess not. I need to figure out how to get up there. We'll just do this. Ah, ha, ha.
Have you seen the latest episode?
What is this?
Was it another mafia?
One of 6 somethings that are broken. Really? I did all of that to get one? Okay. Let's see. I'm getting a new game, a new controller. My current one has stick drift and a capture card. Very nice. I'm curious, what is the new game and what is the what kind of capture card? Cool. See. Good news, everyone. I'm a horse's butt. I am, but that's not good news. Good news at all. That's when they did the voice changer. That was the nephew, or the son, Hubert. And with the new laptop I got earlier this month, which is a powerful one paired with the capture card, I'll be getting. Hopefully, my streams will be a lot better. Very nice. I felt like with my current laptop, streams and whatnot became so much smoother. Very nice. I think I've had this one for about 2 years. Very good. That's, yeah. I like to keep my streams. I try to keep my streams looking okay. I hope they look all right. I have. Let's just cheese the system a little bit there and stand over here to the side. Alright. I don't have any idea. There's one. Thank you. Sorry, I have to focus so they don't steal from me. They may respawn indefinitely too, I don't know. The new game is Black Myth Wukong. Ooh, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm worried since I want a relaxing game, but I've heard mixed opinions about that game. That it's hard, but not that hard. It's, my understanding is that it is a Soulsborne style game. So it's going to have Soulsborne style difficulty. I have to remember. I have to remember the combinations. I don't remember. Okay, hold on. I think these went with this. We'll see. If not, I'll just get full health. That's okay.
Rice, soup dumpling.
Nope, no, it wasn't the right combo. That's okay though. That's fine. I still got my health filled up. The capture card is an Elgato capture card. It's not too expensive, but not cheap as well. Fair enough. I use Elgato myself. When I started out, I wasn't. I used the Hapag HD PVR2, but I have been using Elgato for a while. I currently use the Elgato HD60, the Elgato 4K HD60, which is integrated into the. Or actually plugged directly into my system. So I used to have an external. I used to have the HD60, which I liked a lot, by the way. Very, very good. And, okay. There we go. I got out just in time. Now I'm missing one other one. I have 5 out of 6, rather, sorry. Let me pause for a second. I use the Hapag HD PVR2, I moved that to the Elgato Game Capture HD, which is great for retro. I moved that up to the HD 60, then I moved that up to the HD 60S, and now I'm at the 4K HD 60 Pro. I think it's something like that, but it's integrated into it, so it's been like, whew. But it does pretty well, I think. I mean, you guys are seeing the results of it, so hopefully you think it looks good, or it looks and sounds okay. The sound is a different beast altogether. I put a lot of, there's a lot of mixing that goes into making that happen, so I even have a little special filter so that you'll hear. When I start talking, the game audio automatically starts getting quieter, and when I stop talking, the game audio gets louder. I even have all that set up. How cool. Because I don't want to have to fade the music in and out all the time and you guys get annoyed at me. Hopefully not, at least. I try not to. I may have missed a chat for 2 minutes because I'm at my parents' now, which means lots of parents chatter and being an uncle. No, I understand. In addition to being a father, Viddy, I am also an uncle. I have... let's see. I have a, like... almost 2-year-old niece. I have a... I can't even think of how old he is now. He's still pretty young though too. I want to say 6-year-old nephew. I'm gonna feel really bad about that, but I think that's right. And then I have a 20-year-old or 21-year-old niece as well. And I believe I have a 20-something-year-old nephew, but I've not seen that one. So, my younger sister's kids. So yeah. I'm used to playing, let's see. I'm used to playing Souls games. I've played all 3 Dark Souls series as well as Elden Ring. What about Bloodborne? I've actually been planning to do a 24-hour stream on Christmas Eve, and one of the games would be Dark Souls Remastered. What about, yeah, I was, you got, you got Dark Souls, you got a really good bevy of those. You've got that, you've got, what do you have? You have Demon Souls Remastered for PS5, and Bloodborne, and the Dark Souls Trilogy Remastered, and, you know, Elden Ring, the Souls, and now you've got Black Myth Wukong. I mean, you're gonna be good. Dark Souls, the actual Nightmare Before Christmas. Very nice. I wish I could be a dad someday. I love kids, and I personally think I'd be a great dad. It's very gratifying when, I want to say this in the most gracious way possible. It's very gratifying when the kids that you have are great kids. And it's really hard to tell. Like, you want to work really hard for them to be good kids, but then they have to be good kids. You know, they have to put that kind of effort in, and that gets... Well... Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Oh, it's... what do I have to do there? Okay, I guess I get it. Okay, it's a timepiece. I picked up shards of a timepiece. Okay, fair enough. Oh, shoot. But anyway, it's one of the more gratifying things when you see... I hate that happens so quickly. There we go. It's one of the more gratifying things you see when your kids are actually super awesome. That's really, really cool. Not to forget the other games like Lies of P and another... Oh, that's true. That's very true. Lies of P is great. I really like that one. I haven't played a ton of Another Crab's Treasure, but I have played Lies of P, and I do like that a lot.
Kiddo, fork it over.
Let's see. Not good with words, brother. As I like to say, English is my 5th language, and I struggle with words. That's no worry. English is fortunately my first language, but it is not my only language either, and I understand the struggle with other languages, so no worries. Gratifying is to be... It's kind of an emotional or sentimentality, positive and rewarding, I would say. You feel good about it because the reward is the feeling of, I guess. Would that be the best way to say it? My baby niece's eyes are really taking in everything. Also lovely and gratifying. Oh, that's nice. What would be the best way to say gratifying? It's a reward. It's the reward of what? Pleasures, contentedness. Like if I'm gratified, I feel maybe a satisfaction with something. That be right? The reward is Taki Toaster offering grilled bread products. Grilled bread products.
A fifth? You continue to surprise me.
Yeah, but I did it. Thank you for the cash.
Stay in my metro. There's people from all over here.
There are, and there are thieves and rats.
It's the perfect place for a little lying.
I know how to treat kids, at least. Obviously not going to trauma dump, but I don't have the best parents ever. With things like beatings and stuff, so I know what a bad parent's like. I understand, man.
You've almost earned yourself a real cut of the action.
It's not a trauma dump. It's not. I mean, it just happens. Like I haven't seen my father in getting close to 30 years, something like that. So, yeah, I know exactly what that's like. All right. I had experiences with kids in public, and I'm at most times great with them if they interact with me, which is nice. It's always a different story. I will say this. It's always a different story.
Now, trying to send the word.
Okay. When it's your own kids. Obviously, you're not going to be more inclined to beat them, but it's like you should not be inclined to beat them for sure. That's not a good thing. But the way that you treat them and the way that other kids are treated is going to differ heavily. Mostly because there's a greater responsibility. Like when you walk away, hold on. When you walk away with from other kids, it's like whatever. But when you walk away from your kid,
has been found.
Yeah, there we go. 5. When you walk away from your kids, you have to remember that your whatever they act like is a direct reflection of what you've taught them. I would never even think about hitting my children, which is good. You shouldn't. That's not a good idea. This looks super tasty. I'm not big into sugar, man. I'm not a big sugar guy. I do have some sugar in a day. Every day I have a little bit of sugar. I have about 17 grams, and it's in about a tablespoon of honey that I have in my morning breakfast. But I found a new routine that works for me. I feel really good. I've been doing it for, I don't know, 6-7 months, something like that now, and I've lost a lot of fat, gained a lot of muscle. I feel really good. Cutting out a lot of sugar. So, if I want, nowadays, if I want sugar, if I want sweets, I kind of just get an all-natural peanut butter, and I have that, which doesn't have any sugar, but it kind of hits the craving if I have a sweet tooth. It does that. It does hit that sweet spot for me. You just hit the button and they pop out of the Switch. Yeah, that C button is meant to be on the Switch too. It's for cookies. Well, that's good enough for me. If C is for cookies, I mean that's good enough for me. Yeah, see, I do a all-natural peanut butter, so no sugar. It's just literally mashed up peanuts, and I love it. Starting to lose the want to sweet things. I'm glad you picked up on that, Pity. I don't know why I know that. But that was a thing, and I do know it, and I don't know again why. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sweet drinks either. The sweetest drink I'll have is milk. I guess there's a little bit of sugar in milk too, so I guess I have maybe 20 grams, but I have have milk every day because I do love milk. Okay, there's a thing. Is that a timepiece? That looks pretty good. I have a special ultra filtered like high protein milk, so a glass of the milk, a full cup of the milk that I have is like 32 grams of protein, I think. And I'm a big guy, so more protein is better. Oh yay! That one was nice and easy. Sugarcane juice. Yeah, no, it's sweet drinks don't do it for me. I don't know why.
What?
It's refreshing to drink. For me, like I have a drink right now in front of me, and it's cooled green tea. It's iced green tea, no sugar, no additives, just green tea, filtered ice. That's probably my favorite. I mean, I love water, but this is probably my favorite.
Any left. There's an operation coming up that I stand to make a killing on. A transport gig. Bring me one more, and there won't be a cat in this city with more scratch than me.
Do I have a ticket for the yellow? I don't have a ticket for the pink, I don't think. I think that's the only one I'm missing a ticket for.
I hope your tickets are in order, little one. One of my little treasures has been spotted over in Pink Paw.
Okay, well, I don't know where that is. But it's a sweet drink also known as a soft drink, or is that something different? Sweet drink is any drink that's sweet. Even OJ or chocolate milk I'll call a sweet drink. I refer to soft drink like Coke, I'll call it soda or soft drink. Okay. Yeah, I don't do soft drinks either. I don't do orange juice, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do, like, I do 3 drinks. Well, 4. I'll do 4 drinks. I do water, mostly. I usually will have green tea, which I love. Chilled, though. We don't do it hot here. I mean, I live in the desert. Even during the winter here, you know, sometimes, like I said, we'll get like 6 weeks of freezing tundra, but even in the winter, for the majority of it, it's like 60, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You get to February, it'll be snowy cold and 32 below. So green tea. Great, I can have toast and orange juice for breakfast and retro can't. That's true. More for you, though. If you want it, I would be happy to share the one served to me with you. I don't like sodas much, but there is a soda here, and if it helps you, and it helps you if you're having digestive problems, so that I drink sometimes because it helps with digestive. Is it a ginger-based one? I'm curious. Because there are ginger sodas, but a lot of the ginger sodas that are good for digestion here, thankfully don't have the added sugar. They're just literally a ginger carbonated, you know, kind of almost bitter. Now it's made using lemons and lime. It's more sour than sweet since it's made using a lot of acidic stuff that helps a lot with your stomach. More acidic stuff. I'm curious as to how more acidic stuff would help with the stomach, unless you have a condition called gut rot, which is where you have food that just sits in your stomach because your stomach acid isn't enough. Because usually when you have a stomach ache, you want to neutralize the acids. Like, for example, one of the most common stomach/esophageal related issues is called GERD, and it's gastroesophageal reflux disease, and it's because of a surplus of acidity. No, sometimes you can get too much base, so the acidic helps to balance it out. Yeah, I was going to say I could. I did go to school to become a. My college was in molecular biology. My secondary education was molecular biology with purpose of becoming a doctor. Yes, and then I found out I was making more money without the student debt, and I opted to not pursue it any further. I would like to go back anyway, though. I think it'd be nice to go ahead and just get the title. Listen, I'm just speaking from what I learned from my textbooks. Well, so the thing about it, this is the kind of interesting thing, and the reason I say that is because America's got this really interesting take on this right now. And it's my problem with marketing. I gotta pause this for a second, because this is a real thing. Is a lot of people are marketing, in America, a lot of people market your bottled water because of its pH balance. And so, like, here in America, it's a big thing to go, buy this water, it's a pH balance of 9. This one's got a perfect pH balance of 7.5. This one's got, it's got this weird. And so for frame of reference, for anybody who's unfamiliar with acidity, pH balance is the metric of acidity on a scale of 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. I think it's 0 to 10, but the lower on the scale, the more acidic it is, right? So 1s, 2s, etc., being things like battery acids, hydrochloric, hydrofluoric. And then going up to something that's potable, we're talking about something that's going to be a high number. So we're talking about I'm talking about that which has a metric, though, because as far as I know, I don't think there is a 14. I don't think there's a 14. I think there is a 14 number on the scale, but I don't believe there's anything that actually metrics as a 14 in terms of alkaline, except for I guess maybe alkaline itself, but I can't think of anything that's that alkaline. But anyway, when we're talking about that's what I'm talking about. So I think the highest thing we technically metric is in the 12 points, right? But talking about potables, things that you would find in your stomach, we're going from maybe a 1 point. I think it's 0.1 to 10. You're usually not going to drink anything that's more alkaline than that, because it's really bad for you. And then but your stomach, the thing here. So anyway, here's the thing. So on that scale of 0, 1 to 10 of potables, things you can drink, right? People are talking about balancing the pH of the water so that it's a 9, so that it's a 10. All right. For frame of reference, 9, 10 on the scale is going to be it's a major base. It's going to be something like baking soda would probably be on that 9 to 10 scale. Your stomach is highly, highly acidic. Your stomach is I think it's a 1. I think your stomach acid is a 1 on the scale. So we could take 0, because I think 0 is going to be hydrofluoric battery acid. Your stomach's a 1 or 1 on the scale. Yeah, your stomach's pretty low down on there. It's a 1. Are we sure? Because I believe between a 2 and a 3 is where soda falls, and lemon juice. I'm fairly certain the acid that we have in our stomach is a. Let me take a look, because maybe I'm remembering it poorly. So I'm going to look this up just to make sure. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, pH scale, yeah. Battery acid falls at a 0. Stomach acid's falling around a 1. Let me make sure that I'm not completely off of that. Am I completely off of this? No, yeah, it's a 1. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, between 2 and 3, but it's a 1. I believe it's a, I believe, as I say, I would be really surprised if it works. I believe, like, citric acid and sodas and stuff like that are kind of that 2 and 3. Some forms of not very well processed coffee could technically fall down that far. But your stomach is a form. I almost read that as battery plant zone. Oh, that's it's a good song too. Yeah, so your stomach acid is like a 1. It's very, to be specific, like on the low end of the spectrum, battery acid, right? You have hydrofluoric acid. Our body's gastric acid is hydrochloric acid. It is very, very strong, very, very corrosive acid that falls in that about a 1 on the pH. We were talking about acids because we were talking about you said you had a drink that was to help the stomach, to introduce acids to it in the event that you neutralize the acids that were bases, and then I got on to how the pH balance of that was. You said, I don't know, it's something that happens in my books, and I was talking about how America has taken advantage of that with water. They started getting to the point of where they're saying the water has a perfect 10 pH balance, or the water has a perfect 7.5 pH balance, or perfect this and this and this and this. Talking about the neutrality. The fun fact, with exception to some key elements, like for example, a 10 pH would be like bismuth, right? If you have an issue with your stomach, you might take tablets of bismuth, and that bismuth will help neutralize some of the acids, right? But when you drink water, which has no real neutralizing agent at all, even if you alkaline the water up to 10, the water, the minute it touches your stomach, becomes like a 1 or 2. Because when you have a base that isn't intended to neutralize, when you have, something highly alkaline that isn't a base, that isn't intended to neutralize an acid, it becomes a part of the acid. Bismuth is something that is intended to neutralize an acid. Baking powders are intended to neutralize acid. Milk even acts as a neutral agent for acids. But you're usually not going to introduce enough to your stomach that's going to neutralize its acid. It's possible. You're not usually going to do that. The opposite, though, giving more acid to already acidic environments, yes, and then that's when you take bases, and a great natural base would be like ginger, something that is intended to help neutralize. So that's what I was getting on. It absolutely frustrates the heck out of me that America's like, oh, we're making a pH water this and that and the other. It doesn't matter. When it touches your stomach, it becomes about the same pH as the stomach acid you have. It becomes like a 1. So we got here because I theorized about the switch to and cook. sweet bismuth. Bismuth is Tums. Tums would be a bismuth tablet, or Pepto-Bismol tablet is bismuth, or some people say bismuth. Either way, it is something that is intended to neutralize acid. It is a base with intent to neutralize an acid. So it's highly yeah, it was a catchy one too. Anyway, that's where I go off on my. But yeah, your stomach is literally the Metro Special. What the heck is that? Yeah, your stomach is literally meant for. I'm just gonna eat one Metro Special. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do. these two things and get the 5th life. But anyway, that's why I was talking about that. It's frustrating.
Combo has been found.
It's really frustrating.
Fish. Battered and fried fish, usually cod or pollock. Most cats love being able to buy it fried, since there's no fish tanks in the metro to steal from. French fries, sliced and deep-fried potatoes. An important reminder that alone we are all...
I ate it. She was like, okay. Even the paper. Only the paper. I can't get a ticket to go into the Pink Paw yet. I hear stories about when people are eating and eating just regards to things that aren't good for them, like how? What kind of being are you? One who apparently suffers from pica, I guess. That would be the best thing I could think of. Maybe I have pica. Oh, there's a sticker. Take that. You ate the basket, the paper. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's pica. That's what it is. Paper in the basket. No, I wouldn't want to eat the plastic. Those baskets are usually made of plastic. Paper, I don't care. It doesn't really do anything for or against you that much. Depending on what kind of paper it is. Now, if it's that plasticky laminate paper that they use a lot of times, yeah, I'm probably not gonna go for that. Am I in the Pink Paw? Is that what's going on here? Maybe that's what's going on here. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I think I should get it. Oh, I fell. I need the sprint hat. Oh, cool. Okay. And then now I need the, this one? No! I did it anyway. Zoidberg. An edible ground. He has the splitters all in his tentacles. I love that. Zoidberg is my favorite. I always feel so bad for him because he seems like such a nice... Like, he's not good at all at being a doctor. But he is... he's just so lovable. The lovable trap. And they only pay for the... Anyway, I love Zoidberg. I wish I could do his voice. He's just so... Like I said, he's just lovable.
Want something to eat?
Ice cream sandwich, soda, too much sugar. That's all you sell. There are restaurants here on the side of the highways and places like that called Daba. And all of the breads and stuff that we'll serve in the baskets, usually in metal baskets. Sometimes it's plastic, but most of the time it's made of metal. That's really cool. You have to talk like Zoidberg for the rest of the stream now. I spent channel points on that. I wish I had... I need to focus on that, because I would love to have a good... Oh, no! What in the heck has happened? Okay, I see. I wish I had a good Zoidberg voice, because I do love Zoidberg. He is my favorite. There are moments where Hermes will get me. I'm not gonna lie. There are moments where Hermes will get me for sure, though. Okay. This platforming is definitely a little difficult. Okay. I cannot do a Zoidberg voice, with the possible exception of the whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. So I don't mind that. Okay, and this is my Metro ticket, so I can actually get the Pink Paw. Yes, I would like that. And I love that they didn't make them super... I would really be upset if they made them like 100. After all of that platforming, 100 of those, or 400 or whatever each. I'd be very disappointed. Okay, there is something in there. Oof. Maybe a potion? No? Access denied. Yeah, I know it. Someone's not a fan of platform. No kidding. What the heck? No, it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you go through. That was a random freeze. It doesn't let you go through. Let me take these. It's a token, and I don't even remember what those tokens are for. So I guess I'm gonna wait on that. I'll get that later. I probably should put my little top hat back on. Yep. Okay, now I should be able to get back to this station more easily, though. Well done on the joke there, by the way. Well done on the pun. Oh, nope. Okay, fine. Maybe I should be up atop the trains, yes? Okay, maybe. Nope, I can't jump that high. Okay, I'm fine. I have these. I bet I could go into that with the ice hat, but I'm gonna wait. Let's see. Let's try this. I think... Therefore, I am. Okay. No, it doesn't let me climb up on top. Okay, we'll just do that then, I think. Goodness. PlayStation button icons, yeah. It did have all of those there. Well, you appreciate my puns. Others just groan, as they should. I don't think, therefore I am not. It's Descartes, you know.
You know the deal. Gimme here.
Gimme here. Hold on, she's gonna throw a stack of cash at me, and then I'm gonna get incredibly bouncy. You have to wonder, though, if Descartes had thought of it.
It's a lucky number to some, you know.
It is?
Do you have any aspirations, child? Things you want to do when you're older?
I don't want to get older.
Keep being useful, and there won't be much outside your reach.
Okay, so I actually have enough to do the other DLC, but apparently I am still... This DLC is... I'm not done with it. I don't think, therefore I am not. Yay, philosophy. That is Descartes. This little girl just keeps on getting robbed. This is just bullying now. Yeah, it really is. Oh, shoot. And she's so adorable, too. Like, she's just... you know. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see someone like this get hurt. I missed the sticker. Thank you. So now I have all of the metro passes. I should be able to travel much more easily in between all this. At least I hope so. Hold on. Boop. I say that, and then immediately I have to do a train. Whoa. I remember now. It isn't exactly like these cats couldn't just slow down. Is that separate from I think, therefore I am? I think it would be the opposite, although I don't think it's actually a part of the same philosophy that Descartes was making. My aunt, when seeing the fact is a point of view clip randomly, said, I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum is the Latin for that. And it is a very, very good... It's basically saying that the reason that I am is... It can be translated multiple different ways, but the basis of it is that we don't need anything external, that it is... Are you familiar... How do I say this? She had a heart of Descartes. That's all right, not bad. She had heard of Descartes. So this is a kind of interesting thing, but are you familiar? I'm fairly certain everybody's familiar with Schrodinger's cat. Excuse me, Schrodinger's cat, yes? But very few people, I think, understand what the intent of a Schrödinger statement is. And the intent of a Schrödinger statement is a philosophical standpoint, basically, where a person has to define something. That shouldn't have taken me all the way back here. Really? Schrödinger was, in addition to philosophy, science, and other different things, this became a philosophy. No. Let me... That's not even fair. I don't, in fact, know about Schrödinger. I'm not that much into philosophy. One of my favorites is When You Stare Into the Abyss. The Abyss Stares Back, yes. Schrödinger was the man who made a postulate. He basically made a postulate on a cat, a box with a cat, and the cat is... you don't know if the cat is alive or dead, but you open the box, you find the cat there with poison. Ha 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 ha. And you have nothing external to yourself to determine whether the cat is alive or dead, save for to open the box. But when you open the box, you find poison. Are you kidding me? I could have just gone this way? Wait, I'm wearing the wrong hat. You son of a gun. Oh well, that's my fault. But anyway, the idea was that you could... not external of yourself, validate that the cat... you could potentially validate that the cat had died, but not validate how the cat had died, anything external to yourself. Oh, this is interesting. And so the question that was made is, can you define... Okay, that just takes me back up. Can you define something based strictly on its lack of definition? Right? So basically a Schrödinger statement would be a statement that you cannot define by what it is, but that you can offer a greater definition to because of what it isn't. Son of a gun. There we go. Yeah, it kind of does. Let's see. How'd you mix masquerade combos about stomach acid? Yeah. Welcome back, Fighting Max. He did. And cookies, yeah. That was pretty cool. I was at a pretty cool Christmas market. That's awesome. No, just an event where people, for people where you can buy little decorations and stuff. Oh, that's really neat. A Christmas fair of sorts. That's really neat. Yeah, I agree this railway system is a smidge convoluted, isn't it? Okay. 15 battery. This is very Grunty's Industry from Banjo-Tooie, by the way. I need 100 for the... Okay. They even had some fair food funnel cakes? Oh, that's pretty cool. The train just runs in circles. But it's a kitty cat. That's what it is. Alright. Let's grab one of these. I need 100. Let's hope that some of these are worth like 50. I'm gonna jump over here to it anyway. There's no 100 of these. Good lord. I know if I touch that, I'm gonna get shocked. I'm almost positive, so... We'll see what happens. Dang. They're each worth 1. Good news for everybody. But it was fun, but it was pretty cold out there. I wish it were colder here. It is absolutely not. That's another thing that really gets tricky is these trains. They put you on them and they start going like, oh, you're going really fast, but you're not. You're just You're going the same speed you were going, but the train is now moving underneath you. Well, I missed one. Dang it. Sorry, I'm super focused. I want to get that one last one real quick that I missed. Oh, I didn't miss one. Really? Well, that was my fault then. That was me being silly. That's okay. We'll be fine. Oh, I didn't make it. How did that happen? That's fine. Okay, we'll go ahead and grab these. As if that were a part of the plan. Let's see. But is the cake a lie? In that case, it was a psychological issue, yeah. It was, let's see. I know a tad about trains and railway systems since my granddad used to be a train conductor as well as a ticket master. Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, Christmas will be summer hot here. Well, yeah. That's how it is always south of the equator. Retro studied stomach acids to be a doctor, and now he's studying platforming and train physics. Tad bit. Gonna go to a used video game and bookstore. That's really a cool combination, too. Get some philosophy books while you're there? Yeah, absolutely. I would recommend some. There's a video game, I think there is a book on actually on video game philosophy, if you can believe it. And it's I think it's the same one that comes up with like talks about like dominant strategy and such, which is the idea that if something is in a game, even if it seems cheaty, that it may be used to defeat or to beat the game. Oh, no, you don't. Come on. Okay, I guess I did. I'm hoping that, like I said, there are like 101. I'm going to have to hit that bouncy thing again, though, aren't I? Okay, well, at least I know where I am. I know what this whole thing's about. So we're good there. Now I might have to let's see. I'll have to see if I can find it. Yeah, it's an older book. It's not super old, but 10-15 years, I guess. Unfortunately, though, I only know about trains from his era, though. I know nothing about newer trains, since for him all the trains were steam engines. Yeah, we've definitely changed a lot, for sure, on that. Mind you, philosophy is already discussed in games like the themes of MGS2 and dying over and over again in a Souls game. There's also one of the games that I would say offers a philosophy on death, not a philosophy on, the concept of afterlife and such, but the concept of the acceptance of death itself. Honestly, I would say the game Returnal kind of does this a little bit. In that game, you have you die multiple times, you come back, and so there are some kind of really interesting questions posed about the inevitability of certain things, right? There's a huge, when we're talking about philosophy, one of the largest, I would say, oh, dang it, one of the largest major philosophy, questions on philosophy that I can talk about is, or that I think people do talk about even, is was this the one where I missed the thing? Maybe not. Come on. Oh, I didn't know that would fall through. No! Okay, that's fine. But was the anyway, it's kind of the philosophy of free will. Question is, do we have free will? BRB, no worries. I personally love psychology and games myself. I'm sub to one YouTuber who talks about psychology and media, and it's one of my favorite things to watch, and I always recommend him to people who love that kind of thing. Sorry, I thought my phone rang. Besides, my family are talking about spider bites. Now Ash really knows not to come to Australia. Yeah, no, he would be terrified, wouldn't he? Come on. Okay, I'm fine with that. We're gonna die here. I thought I could stand on the railing, but I can't. I'll go ahead and take that. One of the things I think that kind of comes into play a lot with psychology, because a lot of people, when people think, I think philosophy, I should say, not psychology so much, but when people think a lot about philosophy, I think one of the things that comes to mind a lot for a lot of people is the question of existence, right? Existentialism. Why do we exist? Is there a purpose to existing? Is this what existence is? Is there more to existence beyond this, afterlife, etc.? One of the other big concepts I think that doesn't get spoken of enough, but does still get spoken about quite a bit in philosophy, is the concept of free will. And the question is, do you have free will? And there are lots and lots and lots and lots of theories on this, by the way. I tried to catch that train. I didn't make it. Here, let me grab that. I'm trying. Now I only have 25 more to go, so I've been doing okay. It means I'm missing two or three trains, maybe, because I think each of those might actually be worth like 5. Okay, I know that's where I'm supposed to go, so I need to figure out. Well, philosophy to me is about existence. Psychology is about the brain, the mind, and the feelings. Sure, but philosophy isn't necessarily only about why we exist, but also how we exist. And free will is a natural extension of a how, right? So, for example, like the psychology is, do you feel like we have free will? And what factors of your emotions and thoughts motivate that? But philosophy is, does free will objectively exist within the existence of an independent or individual people over the course of X amount of time? So those two things are almost intrinsically intertwined to the point of where you have to kind of think about some of those things to an extent. Not necessarily all the time, I want to be very clear about that, but there we go. That's the question. Let me see. And even in high school psychology, I learned about perception in our eyes and things seeming bigger or closer to us, when in fact they're not. A good example of that is two-dimensional caved-in architecture, where it looks like that it's actually looking at you no matter from what angle you look at it, but in fact it's actually reversed. It looks like it's outwardly, but it's actually inwardly. Not what the fox says. Nice. Now I know what phone ringing sound was. It was the game of the trains. Oh, I'm sorry. Nice. Dog. Yeah. The first time I saw that, I was in my office at work, and it was the weirdest thing ever. And now things are much, much weirder. Wait, I'm gonna keep an eye on that train. Boop. This should be the last of them? No, it isn't. No, they are just worth 1. So I actually have picked up 100 of these. And I haven't. I've picked up 99. Where am I? Are you kidding me? Where? Is that a string of them over there? Maybe I can just do that. Maybe there are over 100. Oh, there are. Okay, thank goodness. I was going to be in trouble. Don't do that to me. That's enough. That's fine. That is fine by me. Matter of fact, let's call that speedrun strat right there. It wasn't, but let's call that. Okay. I wish I could take up psychology. Psychology as a subject, but I'm too stupid. That's not true. Anything that you don't know is something you've yet to learn, but it doesn't necessarily mean you don't have the capacity to learn it.
All right, hand it over.
I saw what does the Fox say on Fine Bros React Series. I cannot believe I used to watch that even before the exposés on 2016. I don't even know about that. I just saw it it got sent to me in like 2012 or 13, back when it first came out. At least I'm referencing a nice. Maybe so. I mean, he could do it. He's pretty good at that stuff.
To you, it means more money. I told you I would make you rich, and I wouldn't lie to my own.
Okay.
Now for me, well, that's my business. For now, enjoy your earnings.
Okay, so I think I've picked up all of what can be picked up as far as timepieces go. If so, it's, you know. I also don't know how to spend this money. Let's see, how much... No, there is one other timepiece, which... I'm just going to poke into the stations. I just want to see where it is roughly, and I'm also going to pick some pawns up real quick. I'm pretty darn sure that it's in that room. Well, you know what? It's in that room. That's what it is. Okay, I'll be back. I'm recording my Sonic 3 voiceover while my parents are out. Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh no, to take up psychology, you need to take up biology as your main subject over here, and I just can't science most things. I just can't with science. Most things like science and maths, I cannot do since I just have a real big problem trying to learn those subjects. Before I record, I had a fair bit of trouble with science and maths. Science and math. Oh man, okay. Science and math.
I haven't seen it.
So just throwing it out there. We say math singularly. I know other parts of the world say maths because there's a differentiation between arithmetic, algebra, calculus, trigonometry. Here we don't. They're all the same. They're not the same function, but they are all the same principle, which is the principle of quantification via numeral. Alphanumeric quantification basically is how we do it. So if you hear me saying math, I am talking about all of it, as opposed to maths, which is also a fair, it's fair as well. I always liked, I had trouble with math for a while. Science never had a real major trouble with, except for when it came to quantifying it with math. And then something snapped one day, and I started just diving really deep into math and loved math, and still do. And so there are lectures, like 6-hour lectures and so on, and so there's 3 to 6 hour lectures by Dr. Brian Greene on calculus that I'll literally just sit and listen to. Maths because mathematics. It could be. I mean, it could be, but the thing about it is, we usually don't pluralize that. We usually just say math. It's kind of like it's the difference, because normally if we're going to refer to a singular math, we're not doing all of them at the same time. We're referring to an entire body of work. Like, for example, you say science, but the original science were sciences. There are multiple sciences. There's psychology, biology, physiognomy. That is one. Anthropology. That's not science 1, right? Those are sciences, but you still say science. So we just do the same thing with math. We understand that there are multiple. Oh, these are the ones I've stolen. Ha ha ha. Yeah, there was a thing that just kind of, it wasn't exactly like, can I put these down now that I've picked them up? Probably not. I put them in my pocket. That's what I did. Okay, now I have to be careful because... Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I knew.
Catch her. Make it quick.
You're right next to me.
Reward is 1 million.
Okay. That's a bit better of an evil laugh. That was the very first one, was not very threatening. I'll do this in a minute. We got the John Wick thing going on. it's I think the reward for him was 7 mil, but still. I get what you mean now. We do the same thing, but we call it that when we get into colleges or uni, not not at my level though. Yeah, there's no
The cat that brings me out.
being very clear. Like it's not. I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong. I'm just saying that's why we do it that way. There are multiple sciences, we just call it science. There are multiple maths, we just call it math. If you want to call it maths and sciences, that's fine too, right? Same thing with history. History is just the retelling of the past. You could say histories, though, because you could be talking about a culture, a people, a group, right? American history, U.S. history, Asian history, Indian history, history of people that are native or non-native, etc., Native American history in the case of that. You have all those different histories, but we just say history. So that's kind of what we do. But no, I like...
Run if you want. You won't get far.
What if I just locked myself back in that safe? Oops. The music's pretty cool here. Oh. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I gotta hold on 1 second here. There's gotta be a button. I feel like there's something... Okay, I was gonna say business can't be conducted on the continental grounds. Yeah, I know it. But anyway, like, there was just something that kind of snapped when I was... it wasn't even when I... So it wasn't when I was in... when I was in high... I still did really well. I still made straight A's. But I just didn't... There was just something... I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't until... It wasn't even in college. It was after. Just being an adult. And little things, like... You used to have it where your teacher, when I was in school, you didn't have cell phones, right? They or at least they certainly weren't like these, what you could have. You had portable phones that you'd plug into a car, for sure. Like you could do that. You had car phones, you had, these old, giant boxy things, but you didn't have phones that had these calculators on them. And so then that was always the thing, is when you need to know how to do math, you're not always going to have a calculator with you. Little did they know, we're going to have the entire might of the internet with us. And, but anyways, I became an adult, and I find myself despising phones more and more, and hating phones more and more, and still do. I started thinking, let me find little tricks, like little tiny tricks that just make sense. Like, when you're going to a restaurant and you want to factor the tip, and knowing that you're usually a 10, 15, 20% tip is usually recommended here, 18% sometimes, but 5, 10, 15, those are nice round numbers. So what is 10% of 432? Well, it's 43.2. Move the decimal over, right? So then I know that that's my tip. If I spend $43.20, then I know that a 10% tip is going to be $4.32. If I want 15, I take that same amount, I cut it in half, I add it to the original 10% amount, now I have it again. Right? So like for $5 in that case, a $2.50. So I know that for $5, 10% is going to be 50 cents. I know that if I want to get that, I take half, add it to that, that's 75 cents. Then I can add that, that's 15%. So I'm like, man. And it just became easier and easier to do that. Learning that percentages were reversible, right? Learning that 10% of 15 is the same as 15% of 10. Right? Those types of things. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure I got that right. Well, yeah, learning that percentages were reversible. I may have said that wrong, but learning that percentages were reversible is kind of cool. That's one thing that makes me always a bit nervous, which is because of my medical issue and my education. I won't be able to get a job when I move over to the U.S. And to my boyfriend. The U.S. So the U.S. is we're very stringent. I don't think you'll have a problem. Let me be very, very clear. I don't think you'll have a problem. The U.S. is very strict. We're not. I wish we were more well educated, and I wish we were more consistent in our education. There are states that are super well educated, and there are people inside of states anomalously, who are well educated. The state that I live in, average across the board. They do about 20. We have 50 states. They do about 25 out of 50, so they're pretty average. I did score really well. Maybe I'm intelligent. Maybe I'm not. It doesn't matter. That's not a big deal to me. I want to be more intelligent than I am today, tomorrow. So I'm going to keep pushing the envelope and keep learning stuff on my own. And there's no longer a school or a college behind me to motivate that. I am just motivated to learn more. I love learning. I love knowing more things. I love knowing more than I knew yesterday. And I want that to continue until I die. The day that I learn nothing is the day that I have died. Or the day after, actually, because the day I've died, I will have learned at least that I was going to die. And I think if you hold that kind of mentality of greatness, I think you'll find. The other thing that I'll say here is people that move from. I think. Well, I can't say that because I don't know that for 100%. But anyway, very, very cool. I though worry about that my boyfriend comforts me at times when I think like that. It makes me happy because of how supporting, which is great, which is fantastic. If I'm not able to get a job over there, I'm probably going to take up streaming as a job. I don't know if I told you, but the reason I stream is to help people with their mental health. I'm somebody who struggles with mental health issues, depression, suicide, and that kind of thing, and I've never heard of anybody talk to somebody who'd listen, so I started streaming myself to help people like me. I want to be the ear that people don't have. That's fair. That's fair. And to some extent, I don't want to say that's why I stream, because it isn't. I started streaming years ago because I wanted to unify people with a common love. Specifically, the U.S. was incredibly divided with presidential candidates and things of this nature. They were at each other's throats because of ideological differences. And I wanted to bring games as a thing of like, but I don't suffer from depression, major mental health issues. I've never considered suicide. I don't know what that feels like. And so I would love to listen to people who want to talk about it, but I would be lying. It would be disingenuous for me to tell you that I can understand that, because I currently have never experienced that. I'm very fortunate that I have never experienced that. I have people that I am very, very close to who have experienced that, and I hate that. I've lost friends from suicide who experienced that, and I hate it, but I don't understand it. Like, I don't know what motivates a person to do that. So I think it's awesome that somebody who is experiencing that, who does have the ability to liken that, is listening to people who are experiencing that. It's much, much easier, I think, for you to talk to that. No, yeah, I'm incredibly fortunate. Like I said, the most unfortunate I am in terms of that is that, again, I have lost friends to suicide. Matter of fact, the year that I started creating content for this channel, March of that year, I had lost a friend to, a very good friend of mine, to suicide. I started making content for the channel in April of that year. No, sorry, in August of that year. He took his life in March. I didn't start uploading until a year after August of the following year. And I still, to this day, like, I miss him. He was a great friend. He was fun to talk to. We used to, we'd get off work and, hang out and play like D&D and stuff like that. He was incredibly funny, really smart. We went to a cafe. He and I debated on chaos theory. He was on my side. We debated against my younger brother and a friend of mine for like 30 years on the purpose of chaos theory, the necessity for bad. They believe there's nothing necessary, no necessary bad, and I believe that bad is the necessary that we can experience to get good. And so we had all of those, and then you lose someone like that, and you're like, what happened? So that I have as well. But on the bright side, I have saved 2 people's lives and stopped them from killing themselves. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, I don't know what that's like, and I'm very happy that I don't know what that's like, but I am also sorry that I can't be more help to people who are experiencing that. Oh, it's open now. Hold on. What is this? There's a lot of money. Can I have that sword? Give me the katana. That would be... I can't hurt people with an umbrella, but I can hurt people with a katana. Alright, fine. The music is great, by the way. Not being able to help, that's something I've thought about. That's another philosophical thing, right? There is so much that goes on existentially, right? Is how much impact externally have we actually on some other people? Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's little. No matter how much it's perceptually, what it is actually is very different. I will admit, I try not to be open on the net about my mental health and that I've gone through some difficult times, so I don't really talk about those online. And that's fair. It's fair. I mean, let me... This is a serious topic, so let me take a second. I think it's okay. I want to be very transparent, but the net doesn't need to know everything about my life. But at the same time, I am very happy to say I have not experienced any issues with negativity in my mental health. And that could be a mental defect. It could be a defect that I have. It could in and of itself be a mental health issue that I haven't experienced depression, or don't experience depression, don't experience that type of stuff. I'm very happy about that, and I'm very open about that, because there's nothing there as far as there's no victimhood. I'm not a victim of that particular thing, and I hate that there are people that are. But the reason I'm open about that is because if I say something that comes across as uneducated, I want them to know I kind of am uneducated when it comes to this, and I'm here to listen, but I'm also here to learn on how I can best be of assistance and how I could talk more eloquently to those types of issues if someone chooses to confide in me. It hurts a lot when you can't help the people that you want to. Sure. That I do know. That part I do know. I don't know how to help, but again, I lost a friend to this. That part does... I mean, it's not that I don't have feelings. It's just that mine are different. Mine work differently. I lost a friend. I know that part hurts. I just don't understand what motivates somebody to that level of action. Someone in the UK I speak with online too is very open about the mental health, and we have become friends even when bonding and connecting over that. I think that's fantastic, Viddy. I think it's great when you find somebody that you feel like you can trust and confide in. That's a good thing. I think to be strategic about how you talk about certain things on the internet is also good. You don't want to run the risk that somebody will abuse that or will talk very poorly to that. Very nice. Some people need time, some people need space, some people don't like sharing. Forcing people to open up will make things worse. You want to make them comfortable enough to open up on their own. That's the problem, though. Sometimes, one thing that I can say that I do know is sometimes people have just made up their minds on what they're going to do. Then there is nothing you can do to change that. You can't get them to open up. You can't give them anything because they've made their mind up. I've never done that with something like depression, but I've done that before with choices where there's nothing you're going to do to change my mind. I have to do this. It's never going to be something that's going to put anybody, in my case, it's never going to be something that puts anybody else at risk. But sometimes it's going to be something that others might find to be as an unpleasantry, It's a choice, right? I also feel like the online communities being the way they are, we cannot be open lest we have people speaking negatively to us. Retro Room and Gang are one of the great communities on. Well, I very much appreciate that. And I still try not to be open. And you don't have to be, Viddy. I mean, that's the thing. You're welcome to share whatever you want to and however you want to. If you want to share here in the public forum, if you want to share privately offline, or if you choose not to share at all, that's okay. I mean, I can tell you... I can tell you that I have no intention, no negative intention, no intention to betray private conversations, none of that type of thing. But again, I want to be very open that I may not be the perfect or best understanding of these issues. I want to help, but I may speak somewhat, and I try not to, but I may speak accidentally and elegantly towards some of them because I haven't experienced them firsthand. And that's kind of the there's a long and short, right? There's a good and there's a bad of it, but the big one is that I wish I'm glad I don't deal with that, but I wish I understood more about it regardless. No, not at all. It's good to be able to talk about these types of things. Honestly, I think it's really nice to be able to talk about them in open forum without somebody, being negative or being awful about it. Don't apologize. It's perfectly okay. I'm very flattered that you felt good enough or comfortable enough to speak with us openly about this. Yeah, I wish I understood more about it. I will say that. I wish I understood more. I wish I understood how to be better in service to those that do suffer from that and that do hurt, so that they can speak to me. I know the first thing that I can do, and I know the first thing I do try to do, is I try to listen to what people are saying. And that sometimes can be a lot. Just listening to the people. Sheesh. Oh, I can go through here, that's right.
Catch her. Make it quick.
I forgot I could go through these because I have tickets everywhere. I guess the trains have stopped running? No, indeed they've not. How did that happen? One second. Once I get started talking about my interests and things I like, it just goes, that's fine. It's probably a reflection of the internet where people say it always has to be more positive or something. As if we're not allowed to talk about depression and mental health or something. We should be allowed to. You should. There should be a forum where you can speak about things that are real and impacting, that you don't expect to have a negative pushback on. I think if more people, again, here's the problem. I think more people should be able to talk about these things more openly, but it's obviously with a qualified professional too, right? If you talk to me about it, I'm happy to listen, but I'm not a qualified professional, so I couldn't tell you what you should or shouldn't do with that, or I can ask educated questions about it, maybe, and make sure that I'm engaged in the conversation and that I'm listening. But I'm not a qualified professional. But sometimes it is just good to be able to vent, to talk about it. I'm a great listener. I might not be able to remember everything to the exact detail, but I remember it distinctly enough, especially if a friend or a person close to me, like my boyfriend or my big sis. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here's something here's something that can get a laugh out of me. I like trains. I like turtles. Very nice. I didn't buy anything. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think people should be able to talk about it. If you're comfortable talking about it, go for it. If you're not comfortable, also no worries. And for people that have the ability to, be willing to be, I would ask or encourage that you be willing to be a good listener for these people as well, for the people that need to talk to you. Who knows? You might find out at the end of it that those people needed you to listen. That's what's going to help them. Who knows? You can't, and that, be very clear too, you can't always help everybody. I wish we could. Oh, shoot. I wish we could, but I can tell you that if you listen to people and let them, talk about it and ask good and engaging questions and try not to just jump too ridiculously into all of the gory details, so to speak. Uh-oh. I knew I was going to mess that up. It could be one day you find out that that was the conversation that made the big difference. No, I didn't buy anything genuinely. All I did was sort the manga because it was very unsatisfying to see them in the wrong number order. Aw. Nice. I just realized something. What is that? We've just realized. Son of a gun with these signs, though. Oh, see, I don't even think I was on that sign. Maybe I was, but I didn't feel like I was on that sign. The hitboxes on those signs are wide. It's a sign of things to come. Yeah, I know. They've got to be some sort of like an undead cat or something. These have got to be like a Spirit World track. I'm not sure. Spirit tracks. Ha ha ha. Legend of Zelda reference in there for you. Viddy. Okay, I should have full life at this point. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know what the actual chase pressure is right now, so like I don't know if they're actually chasing me or not. They may be. That's fine. Alright. Well, 2 dangs and a darn. Oh, what could it just punch me like that? Wait a minute. It's okay. Oh, can I not? Can I not? I guess I can't. Oh! We're fine. Luckily, stakes were low. I'm gonna use the food truck to stay up off these. I don't think they can climb up here with me. Maybe they can. I don't know. Nah. We'll take that life. There should be another one over here. We're going back. Gotcha. I forget that you can actually walk on that one. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
You're going nowhere.
Maybe. How can she shoot through the wall?
Where are you going?
What is that? Ah, dang it.
Are you ready to die?
Boy, that's a really big question to ask like a 8-year-old here. Son, okay, it was way too close. It didn't let me double jump. What the heck?
Here it comes!
I do appreciate you announcing this.
Get back here!
I will say this is kind of really tough.
Huh?
Ah, it won't let you, it doesn't let you double jump there for some reason.
Come here.
Let's see. They're catly cats. I mean, I'm an undead necromancer, so if they are, I can control them. Huh? Yeah, could be. It felt nice because it was something helpful that was completely within my power to fix. Very nice. Could be therapeutic, yeah. Like, why did the random microphone... wait, what is this random microphone doing on me next to my desk? Why did why did Retro send me this microphone? What microphone do you use, Viddy? You'll have to forgive me. I forget. It's a Yeti, isn't it? A rocket launcher, yeah. This is good. It's definitely frustration. It's good, though. Yeah, you're a kid. It's overkill. Yeah, time to die. She's Yakuza. That's why it's called Yakuza Metro. Nice. This is worse than reading a YouTube comments. This is worse than Da Vinci Code, both the novel and the film. This is worse than an R.L. Stein book. I tip my hat. Thumb Bros. Thank you very much. I am trying really hard to make this to make this work. I can't. I'm having trouble with it eating my input on the double jump with the with this dweller mask. So I'm trying to figure out how to make that work. Make her shoot the things that had the... Oh, okay, that's what I thought that might be, but... Alright, we're gonna try it. We'll see.
Catch her!
Okay, wait, whoa. Come here. Shoot this.
Do you think you can run?
I don't need to. Oof. Yes, I did. I need you to shoot this.
Come back here!
Oh, maybe she's not needing to shoot that. Maybe she needs to shoot this other thing.
Get her! I'll blow you to pieces!
It's like, okay, we did it. Hey, at least it gave me a thing there. This game looks kitty on the outside, but it looks like chaos. It absolutely does. So, Retro's been talking about since I arrived anyway, stomach acids, philosophy, mental health, while doing a hat in time frustration. This is a stream that works. It's pretty nice. I give the stream another fact is a point of view scene out of 10. It's definitely tricky. It's fun. It's just tricky. I think it was eating my input because I think I was hitting that bush too late.
Well,
Boom. Okay, so that was the force field that was going on there. Luckily, jumping down is a little easier.
are you running from me?
I need to replace
Yep.
all of you. Can you not catch a child?
Hit him! Oh, it doesn't blow it up? Really? Okay, fine. Wait. Okay, I do still need to go this way. I was thinking I needed to go down the ice thing, but probably not. You cannot hit these cats, by the way, for anybody who is who's watching me going, why don't you just kill the cats? You can't. You hit them and it's like a squeaky, like your umbrella doesn't do any... Oh, no, you don't. How did you get there? I don't need the hearts at the moment, do I now?
Are you running from me?
Yup. Happily. Okay, I can't go that way. I need to figure out how to... Ah! That's right.
Get back here!
It's a cat scratcher there. I need a little bouncy cat up here, thank you.
Do you think you can run?
Yep, I'm fairly certain I can run, but I'm not positive. We're gonna try it anyway, though. Okay, I need you to do me a favor and hit this with that rocket, please. Okay. There's another one. Haha, right there.
Huh?
I need a dweller mask.
I'm back here!
I'm a member of the afterworld. Not the afterlife. It's kind of the same, but different. Okay, I don't know. Is that going to give me room to that ice hat area there, maybe? Oof. That jump almost didn't do me any good.
Here it comes! I'll blow you to pieces!
Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry.
The bounty is
Okay, she's going to double the bounty, I bet. Oh my goodness. Cookies. It's almost like that level in DKC3. Which one? I'm trying to think of it. Bazooka, what is it? Blazing Bazookas? If you're talking about that one, absolutely. Hopefully you can pause more often while the cats are on your tail. All this trash talking. Yeah, I know it. You'll be able to progress further. You must play near perfect. No, it's fine. These are great. Even when Viddy and Thumb are around, you can expect puns. When Viddy and Thumb are around, absolutely. You guys are almost as bad as my other friends. I just kind of add to whatever joke other people are making. That's all right, though. Yeah, Blazing Bazookas is a part of Mechanos. I do love that level,
2
though.
million. Bring me that little brat.
And it's doubled. Who could have predicted this? I'm gonna wiggle my way down this ladder, I'll tell you that. Oh shoot, they also have passes. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It didn't do any damage anyway. Ah! Stay on that, please. Okay, cool. What the heck? Alright, guys, down we go. She's gonna come down here and wiggle a bunch again.
My, where are you going?
I'm not sure yet. Oh, I see. You'll have to tell me with that rocket. Here, I'll stand right here just so you can get me. Alright, fine. That didn't work out for you, though.
Nowhere.
Yeah, I love... okay, I love DK... That was a Hank Hill thing, my gosh. I love DKC3. No! Did I break it? Okay, come on.
My, where are you going?
Okay, I'm not sure... I know that she's breaking things. I'm not sure what the things she's breaking are. Preventing me from doing.
Here it comes. Keep running, child. You're not home yet.
No, I know. What the... You're literally the least of the problems I have. You took one pawn. Oh my goodness. Midgar's train system certainly looks different. Yes, it does. Was that the first or second time she was here? Third. That's a third time that she's popped in. Shinra's after the hat girl. He's the material... no, yeah. No Final Fantasy here. I can't... Whoops. Then we go... That way? Okay. Let's see if we can do that then. Ooh. I don't think that was supposed to work out, but it did. Okay. Cat's going this way. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm pretty sure that people are aware of that, but I just want to make it clear that was an accident. Okay, so when I see the end of that train, I need to get over. Unless I don't have to. Haha. I might... Oh, I wanted to grab one of those lives. Dang it. The escape tunnels. I wanted to grab one of those. It's not that big of a deal, but dang it anyway, you know? Okay. Oh, man. I don't remember Midgar having giant cats. The cat lady will never be a memory. Okay, come on. I think I'm supposed to go down. Nope. It looks like down, but it isn't. Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out how to do this. No, it's gotta be. I have to be able to... okay. Okay. This hat, maybe? Put that hat back on. This hat's become very handy, thankfully. Oh, it's a sticker. Hello there. Now I have to figure out... There's a lot of... Okay. There's a lot of like, it says, oh, go over there, but there's a lot of like trying to figure out where over there is also. So. Okay, you cannot go under that sign, so I think I have to jump around the side of the sign. And then come back. I need a dweller mask. Dang it. Okay, I was trying. Okay, well, I at least know I need a dweller mask. Hopefully I start there. That would be nice. But what is over there? What is over there? What does there really mean? When we go to there, are we truly there or here? Or know the difference between here and there? That reminds me of, there was a Mr. Magoo movie that came out with Leslie Nielsen in the 90s, I think it was, late 90s. He played a character called Ortega Peru, and that was one of the things he kind of mixes up as I am here or there or nowhere, but when people thought I was nowhere, but I was really there, and you're trying to figure out what the heck he was talking about. I think that's... Uh-oh. That was my fault. I think that people pulled that one off of the list for a lot of them, because I think a lot of people were like, I guess, thought that was supposed to be offensive, but he was supposed to be undercover. This is really... That sign hangs over... I know I can do it, I did it, but it's just like... but I think a lot of people were like, I don't know if they thought it was offensive or whatever the case, but the idea was that he was poorly doing this because he's a doofus, you know? I can't. Oh, man. This is a tough one. Just this first sign right here is tough. There's so much more like inertia. I think that, yeah, it was, again, I've used this before, but I think it's the American Dad one is my favorite, is, well, it looks like I picked myself a whole bundle of oopsie daisies. I always liked that one. Something to that effect, but I always thought that was a good one. I always thought that was a really good, silly, you know, like something that I wish I had been clever enough to think up myself. Okay, so I need to stay at the head of the train, basically. Within reason, of course. It's actually, oof. Very, let me up there. Fast-paced. You can tell when I'm trying hard because I will sound more and more like Seth Rogen. Okay. Let's, sprint hat. Run. See if I'm even going the right... Okay, I guess... I'll keep that there. I've got this one bird outside of my open window going, you paying attention to me? And I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, you will be. Okay. What do we have up here? Oh, it's charging. Kitty cats unite! All of you. Is it just really going to be one of you? Oh, how do I thought I was going to get all of them to come out after me. How do we... I love these little things. They're all turning on, but they're not coming out of the thing. How do I get them out of the... because it isn't. It's this one. Gotcha. I need to lead you out. Once more, please. Don't you run back. You come here and you vacuum my filth. That's cool. I like the little... Oh, you son of a gun. I like the little kitty cat puzzles. Those are cute. The little springy ones, I think that's really cute. Okay. Okay. Just looking around. I was gonna see if that was Hatsune Miku, but it doesn't let me. It's not letting me change the camera, so oh well. I was gonna see if it was a Hatsune Miku reference. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay.
Well, well, well.
We'll use that rocket launcher here at close range.
Dragged in.
Not you. I got away.
Step inside, won't you?
Yeah. Sure. I'll go in the elevator.
Did you think you'd get out? Did you think you were smart, little girl? I thought I could trust you. It's so rare I make a bad investment.
Why would you think you could trust me in an organization that is based upon mistrust?
That you'd be so greedy as to steal from me. So bold for someone so small.
I know you think you were buying those from me, but I didn't want to give them to you. You just gave me that money so you could feel better about the transaction.
All my fault, really. I should have a better eye for who I elevate.
She's still somewhat a young kitten, or she's a really well-scarred... Oh, I see the scar, never mind. Because I'll say she still has a blue eye there, but I think they're trying to say it was like a dead eye.
You could have been someone important here one day. But you've disappointed me.
Okay.
And it's time I cash out.
Why? You can't even use the timepieces, like they were mine anyway.
Officers. Oh, convenient. I was just about to get out.
I thought they were on your payroll.
They're a lot harder to get rid of than you are.
That's kind of an adorable little, like, she's curled up next to me like a little cat, like, oh man, and then my little person's like, sucks to be you, huh? I love it.
We'll meet again, brat.
So I can stick next to officers, maybe? I didn't get a timepiece for this mission, though. I think I'm supposed to. The little officer cats are really adorable.
Don't worry, I'm on the jewelry store payroll.
Son of a gun, that's exactly what I thought.
Something happened while I was upstairs. The boss looked mad. Anyway, I had something to give her, but I couldn't make the trade with my partner here. I know she's had you tracking them down, so take care of it for me.
Oh, you didn't hear about the bounty. You didn't hear about the $1 million bounty. I'll be taking that. And I'll add it into my pocket next to the other 8 glass, very fragile things. Nyakuza Metro. How that's super. It's so cool. This is a cool. So we have this one. I think we have a finale. I might try to do the finale, and then I think the next time we come back, if that finale is truly it for this, then I'll do the Seal the Deal next. Every time I hear Seal the Deal 2, I also think about, there was a song by Volbeat called Seal the Deal that came out like 10 years ago. It was like an Elvis-style rock, I guess. And actually, I kind of like it. A lot of people, I think it was kind of unpopular. A lot of people people were very divided about it. Is this all the money that I made from that? Has that just been steadily growing? That's funny. Yep, green clean, bluefin tunnel, pink paw station, and pink paw manhole. Oh, that was the finale? That can't be. Have you constructed the relic? I have not. I guess that was the finale. I thought I was going to take her out, but I guess not. I don't remember how to construct a relic. Let me go back real quick. I'm going to just take a look at it, see if I can figure it out. And if I can't, then we'll call that the finale, because I would like to start Seal the Deal cleanly. If it does, if I do find the time rift, rather, can construct the relic or whatever the thing is, then I would like to, I'd very much like to, I think I have to find a picture, like a photo. But anyway, I would very much like to do that first. But if not, I think I'll just call Seal the Deal. I'll call it done here, and I'll do Seal the Deal in the next one. That lag was not the stream. It is the Switch. I don't know why. I have this game on 2 consoles, but I wanted to play it on Switch. I don't regret playing it on Switch, but it does have some really unusual spots where it just kind of lags. Yeah, nothing
You have the time? Sure. It's, hey! Somebody stole my wand!
It wasn't me. I need to look for... Let me look for the jewelry store real quick. Gotta remember where it is. Oh, I need to... Let's change the sprint hat. Jewelry store should be over here. Le Filin. Oh, what happened? Are you under investigation now? Ooh. Oh, your safe is closed. Let me talk to you about the police here.
Walking right back into my claws. Bold. Make no mistake, child. If these police officers weren't making a show of investigating things right now, you would not be leaving a second time. Thanks to your little stunt, the chief wants to renegotiate our arrangement. He thinks sending a few of his kittens down here will pressure me. They won't find anything, of course. They're not that stupid. But it does mean I need to keep things orderly for a little while. No accidents happening to anyone. You know. This'll all blow over soon. If you're smart, you'll run.
No, I'm strong. I'll stay. Yeah, I have enough timepieces to do the Seal the Deal, but I want to start Seal the Deal cleanly. I got, 3 or 4 time... How many timepieces did I get? 38. So I think I got 4 timepieces or 5 timepieces since I last started. I got all the timepieces from here. I was looking to see if I could find the thing to do the time rift, because I'll open Seal the Deal, but I probably won't start it until the next stream, just so I have a clean ending on this. And I might even make a new thumbnail for the Seal the Deal stuff, because I like the little ghosty character so much. Meow watch. That's cool. I like watches. I don't like smartwatches, but I love seeing watch advertisements regardless. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to, because there's a time rift, but I don't know where the time rift is, and I don't know where the stuff to collect the time rift to figure out where the time rift is either. So I figured if there was a time rift here, I'll do it. If not, I'll get out. I'll go ahead and unlock Seal the Deal, and then I will, and then I'll jump into that the next time I stream. I thought there might be something a little bit more obvious about, like, I think, as much as it feels like I've been all over this station, it says there's a time rift in one of them, and it asked me if I had constructed the relic, but I have no idea where there is a time rift in this, but it doesn't, I don't know how to construct the relic. And the free roam of this, which I think was really cool, is instead of doing the Super Mario 64 thing, which it kind of does, where it breaks up the come on, where it breaks up the world into little segments and missions. This one, the free roam of this world, basically was completely integrated into the individual missions. Which I thought was really cool. I think that was a really neat touch. Okay, yeah, so this is... So I would have to figure out where that is for the time rift, which I may not. Let's do... let's go back to the hub. I get a bit nostalgic over Mario 64. I'm not a fan of the Star by Star collection, but something about that game. Yeah, that's true. I better get going and prepare for the day. Be well, Retro Chat. Yeah, you have a great day, Viddy. Always a pleasure to get to talk with you. I agree with you. I do like the fact that it is so heavily demarcated. I don't like this, like, okay, let me put it this way. I love the game. It's not as good as Banjo-Kazooie to me, because I think Banjo-Kazooie did integrate everything a little bit more cleanly. But Banjo-Kazooie is also 3 years older, or I mean 3 years younger. And so, for me, I think, when I think of Super Mario 64, I think of a cleaner... She'll make little money angels, but she can't spend it. But anyway, I think of 100% of Mario 64 recently. That is super cool. I have never done 120 star. Oh, here we are. I've never done 120 star run, and that's the thing. I would love to do that. I jump between Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island. This is okay. I'm going to give an unpopular opinion. I love Super Mario World. I'm playing Super Mario World and doing 96 exit with my daughter right now. And she's doing. Last time we did it, we did the quick one, where you skip through Star World. She's doing Special World right now. She's not done Special World before. I did it. She's doing Special World. And last time I did it, and this time she's doing it, and she's done great. She got to pass Tubular, which I think is the most difficult of them. I am not a big fan of Yoshi's Island, of Super Mario World 2. I just, to me, it just feels so much more sluggish than Super Mario World, which feels perfectly responsive to me. And I know that's a preference. I know like a lot of people love that game, and I get it, right? It's a great game, but like it just feels too sluggish for me. Am I being too critical on it? Because everybody loves that game, and it looks beautiful, and the music's great, but it just feels so sluggish. Let me see. Yeah, okay. See, I like that. Oh, there's a rift in here. Oh, no, I don't know what I mean exactly on this, man. You would know better than I do. Yoshi's, I'm so glad that I'm so glad to feel a little bit of vindication for that. The baby crying noises get annoying fast. I agree, they do. It's a good game. It's so slow. So like if you give me a choice between playing one and the other, I'm gonna always pick Super Mario World. It's just perfectly responsive. Even the cape pump, which is, I think, something that takes some people some time to get a hold of. Even a cape pump, like, once you get the hang of it, you know what you're doing. You know how it feels, but man, it is a bugger. I don't know if that is the one. If that, it says there was one well, let me look. I'll show you what I'm seeing, Fighting Max, and then maybe you can tell me if I'm just off base, because that's possible. Yeah, that what I just did was a rift. Did I say something wonky? I may have. Okay, so that rift was solved. Let me go back in and see if that was the rift. Yeah, see, it is. There's a rift. It says purple. There's still a time rift you haven't unlocked for this chapter. Have you constructed the relic? Yeah. So there is still a rift here that I haven't hit for some reason or another. But I don't know where it is. It says purple, but there isn't a purple. I would guess if it were going to be, it'd be between these two, but I don't know. And the music of this definitely feels Banjo-Kazooie. Much more Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, though. Okay, we'll go ahead and unlock this, take a peek at it, but Arctic Cruise is now available. Ooh. So this isn't even Seal the Deal. This is Arctic Cruise. Well, I just want to take a peek at it real quick, and then I think we'll make a clean cut for this one. Bon voyage. Act 1. Okay. And it looks like we have like a dichotomized world here. Little skull on the side. Very cool. No pun intended. A rift. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, like, it's just, it feels sluggish. I like the game. I think it's good. It's just, if given a choice, I'm always going to go in favor of, Super Mario World. But okay, guys, well, I think I'm going to call this a stream. We finished up. We picked up like 4 or 5 timepieces. What are we at? 3 hours? A little over 3 hours, maybe closer to 3 hours, 10 minutes by the time we get everything finished. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty darn good. I think it was nice. It was fun. And now we have Arctic Cruise, which I had no idea was a thing, so we get to do that. And then we also still have Seal the Deal, so we've got a lot more to go, I guess. Or at least a little more to go. This looks good, though. Let me go ahead and move us over to this. Gently turn that up a little bit. Cool. I'm really excited for your reaction to Seal the Deal. Yeah, I like the Ghosty character a lot. I think he's cool. So I would like to see the Arctic Cruise part even. Like, I don't even know. That's a part of the main game. It feels like it's chapter 6. Like, so I'm very curious as to what that is. But now we've still got Arctic Cruise here. So anyway, very, very cool. I really have enjoyed this game a lot. It's really nice and responsive. I play it on the Switch, and we end up hitting some weird hiccups since there's a kind of an odd aspect ratio. I kind of created the little blurry window, but this is going to be fun. I mean, this is a lot of fun. And so, I'm enjoying doing this. It's cool that you're playing Super Mario World with your daughter as well. Yeah, we did a thing. We kind of did this thing where we were like, we want to go through a couple of retro games together. It's cool you're progressing with this game. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I talked about doing this. I'll do this, and then I think whenever I get closer to done with this, I'll probably put a vote out for everybody. I thought about doing putting some retro games out to vote, but I also thought about maybe putting an option for doing an actual reaction to Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm a big Star Wars fan. Everybody's kind of a how do I want to say this? I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I think Star Wars Outlaws was a kind of contentious game. So I'm intending to try and give a live reaction. I think people would think is neat. So, but we decided we were going to go through a bunch of retro games. We went through and passed Kirby. We did the 100% where we got all the stars so we could fight the little inky guy at the very end. We did Donkey Kong Countries 3 and 2. Super Mario World star exits. Now we're doing 96 exits, and we do a lot of that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. So I thought about maybe doing that Star Wars Outlaw React or what. We'll see what happens. Will your daughter inherit the channel when you're done with it? If she wants it, she can have it. I mean, I'll give her everything that if she wants it or she wants the resources to it, I'll give her all of that. But who knows how long I'll be doing this? I may still be doing this for a long, long, long time. So she may decide she wants to go in a different direction with it. Who knows? Retro for her and retro for me are two very different things also. But she and I do play a lot of my retro. Like we play a lot of Pac-Man, a lot of like Atari, a lot of NES, a lot of SNES, which is which is not, well, it's retro now, but it was wasn't retro for me originally. So Isn't there a new Star Wars TV show? Yeah, I think I lose track. Yeah, no, I understand. There's supposed to be one called Skeleton Crew coming out with Jude Law. I haven't seen anything else really on it, but yeah. Who knows what YouTube will be like at that point? No one. I mean, no telling. I mean, it could just be at that point. It could be a holographic projection onto like a glass box on or a plexiglass box on your table, and you can literally have like 3-dimensionally filmed videos. And we already have the capacity to do that now. It's just a matter of they have the little thing where you have it's like a 3-dimensional like trapezoidal plexi, and then you set it on your phone, and then it turns the image of a YouTube video, which is a 2-dimensional image done on 4 different angles. It reflects it up and makes it a single 3-dimensional image. Really, really cool. So I bet we just kind of further that technology. Or maybe it's the same thing as it's ever been, and we just have better ways of, maybe it's just cell phones get better. I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff that comes out. To your point, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff that comes out. I think Star Wars Outlaws is kind of the latest game. It's a Ubisoft game. It's been really. I think a lot of people have kind of panned it, but I think it's been fairly split. I don't know much about it. I know like that it's a female main character, and you have an axolotl character that is your friend. And then beyond that, I don't know anything. Now, as far as Star Wars lore, I know tons about that. But I don't know what this does in that lore. I don't know if I'm going to end up pointing and going, well, that's not correct. That doesn't make sense. Well, this and that. And I might, push I don't have glasses, but I might push the glasses up on my nose, so to speak, and be like, no, this isn't, It's very interesting to think about. Maybe YouTube won't be a thing anymore. Maybe it'll be something completely different. Maybe Neuralink will take off and everybody will just have the images put directly into their brain. I'm not doing that. I don't want anything that can be externally hacked put into my internal thoughts. I don't want any of that. So Cyberpunk 20... Anybody who's... Speaking of that, Cyberpunk 2077 kind of makes the cybernetics thing really like everybody does it. If you want a really good, in my opinion, really good game that covers great subject matter, good story, really good gameplay, fantastic music, good characters. I mean, like, Cyberpunk does a great job. Don't get me wrong. That game is fantastic. But if you want a game that I think covers what I feel like the cybernetic future might be more like, I heavily recommend Deus Ex. Deus Ex has Deus Ex has several installations, but let's talk about the latter two, which are going to be Deus Ex Human Revolution and Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Those games are awesome and basically kind of go against the forced cybernetics versus no cybernetics versus, I think that'll probably be more like what'll happen. Really good games, though. They're available on PC if you're a PC gamer, if you're not a PC gamer, and they're dirt cheap. I know at least the first one is always on sale for like $3, and the second one goes on sale for like $4 all the time. They're such good games. I think that's kind of more along like what the future will look like cybernetics put into you, but if you don't, monitors everywhere. And I think that people that have cybernetics will stigmatize people that don't, or vice versa. I think that'll probably be what it'll be like. So, Square Enix. Not to mention, I think they gave a lot of the proceeds from the game profits to an actual organization to help with offering smart prosthesis to those who are amputees, which I think was a really cool initiative, if I remember correctly. So it is it's a cool thing to think about. It's a cool thing to speculate. I mean, you have to bear in mind, like, I didn't think nowadays we have cell phones and YouTube and everything at the touch of our fingers. Like, we have. You have a little monitor you can carry that basically does everything. I can darn well tell you, when I was a kid, I had no thoughts of that. Well, I had very few thoughts of that being the case, right? Star Wars was kind of the closest you could get to that, because in Star Wars they had the little monitors, the data pads they were called, where they would get read a report, that kind of thing. And I thought, we'll probably get those. And we do. We have them in the form of like Kindles. But I didn't know we were going to have, like, if you take a look at a Star Wars data pad, from that era, and then you take a look at like what we have now. The Star Wars datapad that they gave us is like a Kindle, and our phones are literally more advanced than Star Wars anticipated them being, which is such a cool yet terrible thing, I think. I like that Kindle analogy. Sorry, I read anthology. I have no idea why my mind was putting extra letters in there. It kind of was the same. I love my Kindle. I like to read a lot, and I love my Kindle. But like that's what it is. We have this e-ink, and I'm going to say something. This might really be. They have e-ink phones, and I kind of want to get one and trade my regular phone for it, just because I don't need to have YouTube every 5 seconds available to me every 5 seconds for this or that. I don't need that. And so I thought about doing like an e-ink phone. Battery life is a lot better. It still makes calls. It's great at texts, obviously. It's just not very internet. And it still does internet, but it's just like, eh. And I'm like, man. So I kind of want to do that. I kind of do. You kind of do what? I'm sorry. You kind of like the analogy, or like I figure that's probably the case. But the question isn't whether you are or aren't. It's the question is whether it is good or bad for you to do that, right? Like, just because, like, a lot of people like sweets and eat sweets constantly, but then if they happen to be obese, they take a look down, and you have to be like, man, I like the sweets, but I really don't need the sweets. I listen a lot. I won't lie. I listen a lot to YouTube. I really like to listen to. I'll tell you what I listen to, and I'll go from leisurely to not. Well, everything's kind of leisurely, but I'll say. Let me see. I like the idea of having one device for one particular thing. The flip phone was useful for text. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind having a device that's multifaceted, but I don't want it to be multifaceted in doing things that I don't need, wasting time. Kindles are good for books, records are good for listening, DVDs are good. Yeah, I can agree and sympathize with that. But I also understand it's more practical to be able to get a phone call and a text on the same device, right? And if you happen to have an MP3 player, an audiobook player on that, sure. It's just when you start getting into things that are overindulgent, like a YouTube, you know. I completely agree with you on that. But I can respect where a couple of, multifunctional devices are. When it comes to YouTube, I listen to music a lot. We'll put it there. But most of the music is on my phone, or it's on an SD card in my phone. Move over to YouTube. I like to listen to speed runs. I know it sounds weird not watching them, but like I wash the dishes, I listen to a speed run going on. I like listening to the strategies. I like listening to the some of my favorite ones are the old ones back when ADGQ was new. So I like the Funk Doc Castlevania ones and Spiked Vegeta ones, and Siglemic's 120 star run for Super Mario. I like listening to that. I'll listen to Game Grumps sometimes too. I like listening to jokes and humor. Way back in the day, I used to listen to there was a guy, he's still around actually, but Ray Stevens was his name, and he'd just make these silly, stupid little songs, and I just listened to him sing these little silly, stupid songs. You would listen to a radio station that would have, there was one called the, what were they called? The Jerky Boys, and it was just basically phone pranks, but there was an era of you didn't watch it, you didn't see it, your mind made it up for you. And so I do that. I do a lot of audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I go through audiobooks like candy. My audiobook library, I think, is like 341 titles. And then when it goes to YouTube, I also love listening to debates and lectures. I was about to say debectures and debates and lectures on things like religion, on things like politics, on things I don't espouse any side of it. I just want to hear it. A couple of ones that I really liked, Stephen Fry and what's his name? Christopher Hitchens. He passed away, I think, in 2009. But anyway, those two went up against two prominent members of government and church about whether the Catholic Church was a force for good or not. Speaking of Stephen Fry, him and I think Dr. Jordan Peterson went up against like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson and another doctor about whether social justice was good, and I don't go into it and just espouse a view. I just want to hear what people have to say. I don't come out of it going, oh, I just want to hear what people have to say. And I love to listen to lectures. I love Dr. Brian Greene's 6-hour lecture on calculus. I love listening to the Harvard lectures on coding. There's a lot of cool stuff. So I love listening to that kind of stuff. Well, I'm not watching anything educational. Yeah, for me, I love educational content. I love learning something new. I like the idea of, okay, so I went over that. I'm sorry. The Kindle is used for book, yes. I listen to music sometimes on it while I'm doing something else, and I also watch videos. Sure, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously, you're going to use it the way you're going to use it. It's just when you recognize to yourself that it's become a detriment, then that's when you say, well, is it really worth having a device that does it? Right? I love this knife right here, and it cuts my bread really well, but there's a razor in the handle that cuts my fingers. Okay, well, it's probably time to get a different knife, right? Even if you like that knife, it's probably time to get a different knife, one that doesn't have the extra razor. Well, the razor comes in handy this time. Well, yeah, sure it does, but 90% of the time it's not in handy. I think smartphones are great for directions for traveling. It's also nice to listen to music while on the train. Sure, yeah, absolutely. I don't do a lot of public transit. There's no need for it. There's a ton of land down here. Only in the cities, in the major cities, does it ever get bogged down. But literally, I'll be driving for 6 hours, and I'll encounter 12 cars in some of these cases. So I don't get to do a lot of public transit, which may be a good thing. Even still, on those long drives, I got an audiobook in. I've got maybe I've got Sherlock Holmes going. I've got the whole audiobook of him. I had Stephen Fry wrote some books. I love, his comedy and he's a brilliant intellectual, but he's also a wonderful comic. And listening to he wrote some books on his take on the Greek mythos, and just really, really good. 3 of them. Very, very cool. Do you like listening to controller click or keyboard ASMR? No, not really. I mean, I enjoy the sounds of things that I'm doing, but I don't enjoy the sounds of things that other people are doing, no. I thought you might like listening to speed. Yeah, I do like listening to speedrun. Thumb is one of those too. Sometimes I don't get to watch it. I'm doing, I hate to say it, but I work a lot. Day before yesterday especially, was a great example. I am taking 2 weeks off. I am going to be doing a lot of traveling. But I do a lot of travel. I do a lot of work. I do a lot of, and I know everybody does, but I'm working from, sometimes the day before yesterday, I'm working from 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning until, 9 o'clock at night, trying to get everything wrapped up, trying to get everything done. And so I don't have the time to get distracted for too long, or otherwise that's going to go to 10 o'clock, that's going to go to 11 o'clock, that's going to, so sometimes it's just ridiculous, right? It's just man. And so I don't have the time. Sometimes I want to zone in. Maybe I'll listen to some music. Maybe I'll listen to a lecture. But I don't have time to just sit there and watch what's going on. I wish I did. But I don't want my work day to extend into midnight. Sometimes that's just what happens. I do a lot of traveling. I can't afford to watch it while I'm driving. If I'm driving to, a couple of them I've had to drive to Albuquerque, and that's several hours drive. If I'm driving to New Mexico, or I've had to, we've driven to this place or that place or the other, and even driving in Texas, 12-hour drives here and there, just inside of Texas, And I can't be driving all of that and then be distracted by watching this, but I can listen to an audiobook. I can listen to a speed run, Sometimes that's what I'll do, and I'll be honest with you. Sometimes if you go live, sometimes I sneak in. I hate to say I lurk, but I can't really type a response in, but I'm driving and I'm listening to, this is cool. I like to do that. I feel bad that I'm not more interactive, and I try very hard. I've done that with Omega several times too, and I feel really bad. Omega's he's also down in my, Thumb and Omega are down in my descriptions, as I said before. Please do check them out if you have not already. But I feel bad I can't be more interactive a lot of times because I am driving, and so I'll literally hit the video. I'll say, oh, hey, Thumb went live, or, it's been a bit, but But Omega, oh, he went live, and I'll just sit there and I'll listen to what's going on there. And I hate it. I can't be more interactive and say, hey, I'm here, but it's a way for me to show support for channels that I really enjoy. At the same time, I'm listening to something really cool while I'm driving, and otherwise would have been bored to tears. And then sometimes it's really fun because you'll hear this, well, I don't know about this thing, and maybe I happen to have the answer, and I'm like, I can't tell you. So it's fun. I like that kind of stuff. I listen. I understand. It's like listening to the radio, except for you don't have to skip through the garbage songs. You know what you're listening to is what you enjoy, and I like that a lot. Esports are still sports. That's true. I have a gentleman friend of mine I used to work with a long time ago. I'll say his name is Duncan. I won't give any more. And he is the coach of a collegiate esports team, actually, and a super, super good guy. And I guarantee that team's going to do very well, if they've not already, very soon. Because, but yeah, I mean, he's like it's treated just like a sport. It is. Lurking is not allowed. You'd be surprised, though. Some people are really upset about that, but you do always say that, and I appreciate it, because sometimes I can't. Like, sometimes I'm driving. To send a response is would be texting while driving, which I'm not an advocate for. So, like, I do feel bad about that, but at the same time, I also like it. Like, you don't. It's the thing. If you don't show up, if you can't text, if you happen to learn, like, I appreciate regardless. And I say thank you to people who are here and talk with me. I also say thank you to people who see it after the fact. I mean, I'm just appreciative that you were willing to click the video for long enough to say hi, or to watch, or to show some interest in. I don't. If you can't come in and say hi, that's fine. Like, there's not a minimum. There's not a quota. I don't expect people to come in and do a minimum X amount to be a part of the channel. I just come in, have fun, talk if you can, don't if you don't want to, or you can't, it's fine. I think I hate the idea of having stringent followership rules. I think that's silly. This isn't a cult. This is a group of people getting together to share a love of games, right? So I need to be more active on YouTube more. I have a whole bunch of runs to upload, and just like the idea of leaving your own moments there. Hopefully with this time off, I can kind of revisit the channel. I hope so. I'd love to see it. I'd love to show support. I spoke about your I hope you don't mind. I spoke about the speed run. Contra time. I mean, like this. That's the stuff I feel bad about. Like, I want to put more time into some of this stuff, and I just have not had the ability to. I love retro games. I love Contra. I love Ninja Gaiden. I love all these, and I've wanted to put, and Vice Project Doom. Like, I've wanted to put time into these, and try to kind of, like, I'd love to be able to run like an impromptu race with you at some point. Just do it. It'd be fun. I haven't had the time to put in that effort. There are games that I still think I could hold my own on, right? I mean, DKC3, Banjo-Kazooie, KOTOR, Speed, I can hold my own on those. I don't have to practice. I've been practicing for 20 plus years. But god dang, I would love to get back to basics with some of these retro games that I love and miss, and it's just a bugger. It's just a bugger. Didn't mean to talk shop this, but no, that's fine. I think it's great. You're welcome to talk about whatever you want to on here. I'm always ears for it. I like what Arcus does with his YouTube channel. He just uploads whatever, and that's exactly how it should be. He's fun to watch. He's fun to. I don't guess I really have watched any of his either, but I listen to him and I love it. There's a game I could start speedrunning again. I haven't played Getting Over It in a long time. Oof. That's not a game I think I would be interested in speedrunning. That game is frustrating. No worries about the casual race with Vice Project Doom. I'm racing as part of a relay marathon for January 4th, so I need to complete. I saw that. I saw the events, and I'm excited to see what occurs on those. I think it's gonna be fun. It's just, I love Vice Project Doom. That was one of my hidden gems. It was Vice Project Doom. It's one of my hidden gems. I think so few people know about it, and I think everybody should know about this game. It is like Bayou Billy, but good. Bayou Billy's way too rough and tough and tumble, and it's not great in it, but it marries a whole lot of cool elements together. Basically, Vice Project Doom is that, but they perfected it all. It's Ninja Gaiden with racing, with first person. I mean, it's everything that Bayou Billy could have been, but didn't end up being. Even though I still like Bayou Billy, by the way. I have only submitted one. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like Ninja Gaiden, but you've got the reason I was saying Bayou Billy is because Bayou Billy had the fighting sections, which were not like Ninja Gaiden. You're completely right on that. But then it also has the car racing sections, which are more like Road Rash car racing sections. They're not like top downs like Ghostbusters. And then it has the light gun, the zapper, right? It had that. In Vice Project Doom, you get all three of those elements done better. So I like Bayou Billy, but Bayou Billy is a pain in the tail end. Vice is not so much. It's much better done. Thumb, very fortunate if you've not heard that game. My goodness, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy is a PC game. It's a relatively new one. It's only a few years old, I think. It is frustrating. We do have that game. We have played that game. I am not interested in learning how to speedrun that game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. No offense to anybody who loves it or who is, and certainly no offense to you, Fighting Max. We talked about racing games that you're interested in. That would cause me to scratch a hole in the desk. I think I found out about it from Dan TDM many years ago, but the reason I played it was watching Markiplier play it. Oh yeah, well and I will be honest with you, when it comes to watching YouTube for just random, I don't really do it much, but when in the event that you get a Markiplier Schadenfreude, I'll watch a little bit of, I'll watch a Schadenfreude thing for sure. I remember him throwing a chair. So I will say when it comes to that is an exception to the rule if I'm watching. If I have time, and that's only if I'm having time to sit down and watch it, right? So usually it's, but that I will. If I'm hearing somebody start screaming and throwing a fit over a game and they're doing it without hurting anybody and they're not hurting themselves, sometimes I will look up and see what that's all about. But yeah, if you're not familiar with that, you might be. There was a old game called Sexy Hiking, I think is what it was called, that the game was kind of based on, and then they just basically took it to the next level. But games that I would be interested in learning, like I'd love to learn Super Mario World. I'd love to learn, again, Ninja Gaiden, Contra, Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. To try and jump into The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Master Sword Run, Vice Project Doom. Like, those are all ones that I would love to do, for sure. Some guy beat Getting Over It in under a minute. Oh my goodness. How in the world does that even work? Blast Bolt the Bolt. It's ridiculous. But yeah, like those are games I would love to learn how to run, and those are games I'll work on. And there are other games, there are also little games that nobody even thinks about anymore that I'd love to learn how to run. I think it'd be fun. Don't worry about it, Retro. We'll maybe start with one of those games, take it from there. I know time is an issue. Yeah, no, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I want to do is, I want to be able to put more time into it. Time is tough. Working is, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I work with some great people. I work for a great company, but it is work like any other, and it requires a lot of effort and time. And so I want to be able to try and, find one of those, break off some time, work through it, get a good time. That's what I want to try to do. I think it'd be fun. It's an insane record. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's like I said, I'm trying to figure out what a good balance of that will be. I think Contra is easier to learn than Ninja Gaiden. The Contra speedrun at a beginner level is easier. Yeah, and I think that's the one I really want to do first. I've seen you do so many Contra runs and let's learns and this and that and the other. I really would like to do that, and especially seeing, like, I was looking. I mean, there's no way I'm going to do better than you right off the jump. But I love the game. You got that time that was like I was looking at that. I was like, my goodness, like I think it's good. I think it's fun. I want to be able to post something like that. I think that's something I could be proud of, and I think it'd be really fun. I had the greatest interest of doing it. I had the biggest interest of doing it probably in the 2016 era. I had more time, and I started learning some stuff. And Contra was on the list, in fact. And maybe we can do a set time, like 1-2 times a month. That'd be awesome. Yeah, heck yeah. I'd love to try for that. It's 2016 was my big one, though. I was trying to do that, and Contra was on the list. Contra, Castlevania, and Super Mario World were the three that I was going to try to focus on. Castlevania 1. And it was like, man, I'm still interested in a podcast. Oh yeah, we did talk. We originally had, and I don't know where it is yet, so I can't say. There were originally plans to do a podcast, but I think we've had some complications with the holidays coming up and some other stuff that I was going to try and be a part of, which basically would only come up a couple of times a month. So just kind of all get knocked out and a quick area and then posted. And I think we had a third person that was going to help us, edit everything, who had maybe a little bit more time than I had. And so I thought about doing that, but I don't know if that's how that's happening. So it might be fun to entertain the idea of being able to have a set time to just sit down and have a talk on podcast. That would be fun. So that might be worth talking about. I think with Contra, start with stages 1 and 8. Okay, 1 and 8, not 1 through 8. Okay, you get 25 of the game percent. You get 25% of the game covered. Stage 8 is super easy. Just keep moving right. Okay. Bit like Jungle as well. So kind of like I'm going to make a likeness to a game that I'm a little bit more familiar with. Super Mario Bros. World 4-1. Just keep running right and make sure you're hitting the jump button at the right time, and you're good to go. I'll give that a view. Yeah, I mean, I've got the cart right here. Is it a good enough? Okay, 4-1's the best one I can think of, because 4-1, that's literally all you do. Keep headed right, hit the jump button on occasion. So, it's awesome to talk to you like this, but doing it in a VC would be cool. VC, voice call? Is that what that means? Voice chat? I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's probably, because you said podcast. I'm going to... Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really... I agree. I think it would be fun. I would like to do that. We get to talk about we've talked about so many things today, too. Like, we've talked about speed running, and we've talked about games that we had fun with retro connotation. We talked about, like, a cyberpunky alternative game. Again, I recommend voice chat, okay. I do recommend, I want to be very clear, I do recommend Deus Ex. If you've not played it, Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. They're like... They can almost always be found on sale. You could probably have both of the Ultimate Editions for like $8. I heavily recommend that. But anyway, we've talked about that. We've talked about depression and people that are suffering from different various mental ailments that cause them sadness or cause blocks or deterrents from what they want to do. We've talked about literally the stomach acid, pH balances of stomach acids and such. I mean, it's so cool to be able to just kind of go off the rails for a minute and talk about whatever you want to. And we're very fortunate, I'm very fortunate, that we have such a cool, like, the group of people that come into the community here, calling it a community might be, I don't mean it to be a condescension, but like, it's such a great group of people. Everybody here is just willing to let you, they don't take everything you say as the worst possible. They may have a difference of opinion, but disagreeing is a common occurrence that happens with civility. I mean, I love it. Undead Necro Knight and I had a disagreement on favorite games. We got along just fine. Ash and I have had disagreements on different... No problem. Nobody's defending it to the death. It's just, hey, cool. We get it. We're different. I love it. Maybe we can do like a book club and play a game and talk about it on the next episode of the podcast. That would be a cool idea, too. That's a really neat idea. I guess we'd have to find out what games we all had access to, or, but I know if it's retro, then it's not going to be hard for me to get access to, because I probably already have it. If it's newer, it might be a little bit different. I have a pretty good new collection, but not quite that new, but who knows. But that's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea. I'd be happy to figure out what we're going to do with that, and then just try to, I mean, I think it's fun. If it's something you're interested in, it'd be something I'd be interested in. Just provided that I don't have any other engagements that require my attention, then I think would be just fine. So I think it'd be good. But I think with you guys, I hope you all forgive me. We've been going for. We're getting close to 3 3/4 hour of an hour. So I think I'm going to let you guys go. I've got some phone calls to make, some stuff to tidy up before I start traveling tomorrow. And I also want to spend some time with the wife and play some games with the daughter. So I'm going to say I really appreciate everybody showing up and talking with me today. Undead Necro Knight, Ash, Fighting Max, Thumb Bros, Vidi, as always. You guys are always a pleasure to talk to, and it's I'm such a lucky person to have. Let me see. If you don't mind, if you don't mind me saying, I'm going to start streaming. No, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. It's always a pleasure. It's always such a pleasure to get to talk with you guys and to see people come together and just talk about random weird stuff. No coloration, no, you shouldn't do this, you can do this, none of that. It's just pure. It's so nice. It's just nice. Thank you guys so much for being what makes this special. This moment, these streams. You guys are the ones that make this special. I just come and sit and I play a game, and you guys bring up all of this wonderful stuff that we get to talk about, projects we could work on, things that I can do, things that I get inspired to do. Thanks for the stream. Have a great day. You too, Thumb. It's always a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to you. It's just such a cool thing to have a group of people. Nobody's at each other's throats. We all love the same things. It's so nice. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, holiday, Christmas, whatever it is that you happen to celebrate, however long it happens to take. I hope that it is wonderful, happy, and safe. If you happen to be traveling off, obviously, especially. I was away for 2 weeks, also traveled out west by train for 3 days. Oh, that sounds fun, though. I can talk more about it in the DM later. That's all right. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear the story of your travels. It's super. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, wonderful Christmas. Again, whatever you celebrate, I hope that it is happy. I hope that it is safe. I hope you have a ton of fun. And we'll see you guys afterwards, hopefully nice and refreshed. I hope a lot of you guys also get a well-earned rest. If you're like me, I am taking, as I said, time off. I'm taking off 2 weeks. Starting this week, I'm taking off 2 weeks, and I'm going to just take that time to rest, to visit, I hope you guys all have that kind of well-earned rest too. And we'll see you guys hopefully next weekend. If not, we'll see you the weekend following. But thanks so much, and we'll see you then.